Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on you now. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 482.
Suck it!
482.
Yes, and we're joined once again by Magog, and for the first time, So, are you Jeremy from the Quartering, or are you the Quartering? Like, how does that work?
You can just call me Jeremy. That's fine.
Awesome. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for
I
joining
shall
us.
call you what I call everyone else, and that is conquered.
Conquered?
I will conquer you all. Might as well get used to it. Get used to the idea.
So, how's the formation of Morskar coming along?
It's going very well. I cannot wait to invade your world and destroy everything you hold dear and take all your women from you.
We had a modern Medusa on the show the other day. I heard she did a video with you.
Yeah, she came on topless. It was great.
What?
Yeah, she
Wow.
was topless on his video, but it was censored.
Okay, well, at least
Yeah.
it's tasteful.
But,
Yeah, I didn't want everybody to think she was a cam whore.
well, do you have like a patron or something where we can subscribe and see the boobs?
No, that's up to Medusa, not me.
Gosh. Okay. Well, moving on.
I respect women
but-
so much so that I stay away from them.
You know what? We'll do the announcements after this part.
Yeah.
I wanted to get back into what we were talking about before we went live. So Jeremy was at MythCon. You saw Matt. You took a picture with him, and you were one of many people that suggested that he make the apology video.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think I saw at least. I more so screamed in his face to make the video because I was very drunk when I saw him, and I know there were many other people that I don't think anybody was really asking him to do it. It was more like, hey, if you're going to be taking pictures with me, you better, can you like not? I mean, can you, do what you should have done 3 weeks ago? And I think, I don't know when he did it, over the weekend or on Monday or whatever, but it was pretty much what I expected to see.
Yeah,
You should have rolled with the joke and just asked him to flag the picture the moment it was taken.
Well, the thing is with Matt, he's not a bad guy. He made bad decisions. We all do. And, I was pretty critical of him. I have a couple videos about it. And so, I figured I told him is what I'll tell you is, I saw him and I think I said, make the fucking video, man. And, he knew what I meant. And then I told him if he did that, I would, endorse it, so to speak, and say, like, look, it's over. The guy apologized. If we can't accept people's apologies, then what kind of society are we living in general? So
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because I've seen since he released that video, and there was quite a lot of people who didn't accept it.
Right.
Well, that's
I
fair,
totally. But last night I said, I've ripped on Matt to his face, and on Twitter and everywhere about the whole flagging thing. But he apologized now, and what he did doesn't make him irredeemable as a person. And I got attacked like crazy in the comment section to my own video.
Matt was never all that redeemable as a person anyways. His entire shtick was being mundane.
Jeremy, the interesting thing is that Billy the Fridge here, he disagrees, and he told Matt not to make an apology video.
I don't think he needs an apology. His fans don't come to his channel for like Matt's wisdom on things. They come because he keeps trending topics in a video and gives a very middle of the road opinion. The fact that he's part of the trend now is only bad for him. Apologizing for anything he did is stupid because everything he did was exactly hypocritical to how he built his entire channel anyways. Acknowledging it was just a waste of fucking time in my opinion. But
there's this ongoing belief too that if you apologize, you give ground. I mean, the SJW types do it all the time. They'll force someone to apologize, and then even after they apologize, they go after them. They still do it. They still like, now we want their job. You know,
You can't take his job because he's self-made, right? He's a self-made, mundane, middle-of-the-road YouTuber.
I'm just saying that some people believe that you shouldn't give ground, and then some people believe that they, should apologize. So it's a difficult situation, I suppose. I guess you just can't please everyone.
Well, I don't think he should have apologized for anyone else, but the thing is, I agree he doesn't have a lot to gain by apologizing. It will turn off a good chunk of the people who are just like daily disliking his videos and stuff. But this is a guy that wants to be pictured with other creators, and I think if you want to start to gain the respect of your fellow creators, which is clearly important to him, then owning up what you did. I mean, he broke the golden rule amongst creators for the most part, and if you don't own that, then a lot of creators are going to turn their back on you. And that's what he saw. And, you show up at conventions and people are, you're literally glowing green. Nobody wants to be anywhere near you. And I think for that reason, he had to apologize. And there's a huge chunk of people that didn't like him in the first place. Yeah. There's a whole clique economy around shitting on the guy and shitting on someone different every week. And those people don't give a fuck. Yeah. So whatever, don't worry about them,
I consider him a friend. But at the same time, it's like he fucked up to a point where I think an apology is only going to please the people that aren't comfortable walking around with him in public.
And it's weird. So for you, Matt is one of your friends that he's the friend that you rip on constantly when you're with him, though.
I rip on all my friends, though.
Yeah, but him most.
Well, because he makes it easy, right? He says things that are so fucking stupid.
It's true.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a weak person. And that's okay. He had a moment of weakness that allowed himself to get exposed for. Like if he was a strong person, he never would have showed up the moment after flagging a video saying it wasn't him. Just flag the fucking video and let it be flagged. He's in the room right afterwards like, oh, it wasn't me, guys. Yeah, right.
No, if he was strong, he wouldn't have flagged it in the first place.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah. There's levels to this weakness.
Yeah.
But
I think... go ahead, dude.
Well, but his actions as a YouTuber are more about putting the work in than anything else. He's not a talent, right? He studies topics, he talks on the topics, puts them out there for people to kind of decide for their own. He's not out there trying to perpetuate his agenda. He's that fence-sitting, middle-of-the-road guy, and there's a place for him whether or not he apologized, in my opinion. And
his channel was already dying before this. I mean, to be honest, like he has core people. I mean, as I've told him, like I fucking took his fans. I do this. I have the same shtick. But I try not to sit in the middle of the road. But the idea of just reading an article and saying that that's why you're so vulnerable to backlash those, because you really aren't adding a lot to the zeitgeist. You're just like, oh, here's an article with a clickbaity title already written for me. I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
And that does not last very long. I mean, it's killed Boogie. Like the guy's got millions of subs, and I always told him, and Boogie is a weird friend of mine. We talk a decent amount. I've always told him too, man, like, get off the fence and be okay with people hating you. You do a lot better on YouTube, but he doesn't want to, and that's okay. That's his career to worry about, but it's kind of the same thing.
I think it's almost harder for him to stay middle of the road because of the backlash he gets from both sides.
Well, when he was on H3H3, he gave an honest opinion that he had, and people just hated on him for it.
Was kind of a shitty opinion, though.
Well,
But
yeah, but Boogie, everything, like he goes on Twitter and he has a real, every time the guy has a real moment, and whether we can say like we agree or disagree with it, you can tell when he has a real moment the minute he takes shit. There's a video the next day, I fucked up, guys. Yeah. Like if he would just say, look, I said what I said, fucking deal with it, I think he would have a lot less stress. And he's so afraid. He's in where Matt, there's something similar with that whole, like, when things are going bad, when you have 3 million subscribers and you have a hard time breaking 100,000 views, or you have 170,000 subscribers and you have a hard time breaking 10,000 views, there's this fear that, like, man, I don't want to lose what little I got left.
Sure.
And all that really does is end up perpetuating and accelerating your own death.
Yeah, it's always best just do what you enjoy doing and fuck everyone.
Well, I think Boogie's gonna have those moments of repeal all the time. That's just like how he is with he wants to please people, right? Like he's trying to be the good guy. And I think that's cool. I support him trying to be the good guy. And if he pisses off everybody but still tries to be good throughout it, I'm team Boogie. If he wants to become bad Boogie, I'm still his friend and I'll be like, fuck it, dude, talk all this shit you want. I'll be right there behind you with my middle finger up, like fuck whatever side you pick. I don't care. But that's just me personally because I like Boogie as a human. I think he's a good dude, even though he wears his weaknesses on his sleeve all the time. He's very open about them. You know, he's kind of like kind of like Jerry from Rick and Morty a little bit. But I mean, he's got some pretty good takes. I just want to see him stand on them, a little more. I think it'd be a lot harder to shit on the guy for his detractors. And if you're his friend, he's got huge crowds of people that just shit on him all the time. Yeah. It'd be a lot more difficult to dump on the guy if he was just like, yeah, this is my take. I don't care. You know what I mean? If 20 people tweeted me on Twitter, deal with it. And people they would try to push him around less, I think.
Well, Matt's a lot like that too. I was talking with him and he's just, for the past months before the event happened, he was always just like, oh, got more tweets today. And I'm like, why aren't you ignoring them? Why are you letting these people bother you?
Yeah, well, because Billy said, he's weak. That's the thing. When your first question, when you have a take, is what will people think? Like that leads you down a road to very weak takes and unhappiness. Because they can't be happy just trying to say what everyone wants to hear all the time, and that's fun.
It's true. See, you take the good and the bad with that, though. Like I don't know, like how you were attacked in a bar by some crazy guy. I don't see that happening to Mundane Matt because he rides the fence.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But also with the fence riding, like for Boogie, I don't see it as him trying not to piss people off as much as it's him trying to see both sides of the argument. Like he's open to both sides. He's open. He wants people to feel like they're respected, even when he doesn't agree with them. Which
if you oh, sorry, dude. Go ahead.
That's just always how I've seen it with him. Was that he's looking out for the other person's opinion before his, because his opinion, it doesn't matter to him as much as somebody else's. He's trying to understand the enemy or the opponent or the person across the table from him. And I think that's, as a middle of the road centrist, whatever you want to call it, fence sitter. I think that's kind of the fence sitter I respect, is the person that's trying to give credence to every idea on either side of them.
Sure. I mean, I think he, him and he's got a take. That's just my personal criticism. Like whenever he rides the fence, like you also know that he knows he's got an opinion. I would rather he share it. But yeah. I mean, what do I have to say? He's got a channel with 4 million subscribers. Fuck me. What do I got to say about it?
And I think he's old YouTube too. It's really hard to be old YouTube and get like the views that new YouTube gets, because the algorithm switches all the time. He's trying to play an old game and keep up with the new game. So when you see his numbers are 100,000, 170,000 per video, that's not a reflection of the content he puts out as much as it is of where YouTube goes with everybody. Like the older your channel is right now, the more likely you are to get a dip and fall out of rhythm with the algorithm.
And actually, I saw a video that you recently made showing how YouTube lied about when you get demonetized, how your views drop, and how those two things are not connected with one another.
Yeah. It was so shout out to Jurg, the Slingshot channel guy, who really put together the research. I was just kind of signal boosted, but yeah, I mean, they're always changing it, and then as creators, when they lie to our face for the most part, I mean, they were in a slippery way saying, well, if you what they were I think they were asking, they weren't answering the question YouTubers were actually asking. The question was something like, does monetization or demonetization have anything to do with the search visibility algorithm? And their answer was, well, if you monetize a video or don't monetize a video, the search algorithm never looks at that. And YouTubers' responses were like, "Yo, my video was, getting 10,000 views an hour. It got demonetized at 3 p.m. and I can see the views drop. Then I appealed it. It got remonetized, and poof, the views came back. So I think they were just trying to be sneaky there. Either they don't understand their own algorithm, or they were being purposely misleading. Probably a combination of both, but." It's hard for creators to really understand what works. And Billy's right about new channels. I mean, I have an old channel that covers like board games, and I have 160,000 subscribers there. It's really hard for me to break 10 or 15,000 views, and it's really hard to just not be losing subs because YouTube does not promote old channels at all.
It's true.
Yeah, I've noticed a drop every time I upload now. Let me ask a question. Do you guys think the algorithm is going to change yet again because of this AIN report?
it definitely
That's all,
might.
Peasant. You just need to rename the show the Alternative Influence Network.
I think they kind of switched the algorithm. They kind of switched the algorithm up in the fall. I've noticed a trend. Yeah. So we might be getting hit with something soon here. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't get as much traction as like kind of the last Adpocalypse did. It got picked up, but I mean, the data on that report was basically from last year. It was like when Morskar still was relevant, and Andy's a friend of mine, but it's the truth. It's like his channel's dead now.
A lot of these channels that are in there are struggling compared to their rise last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's very few that are even relevant right now in that report. And so I don't know if Google really even cares about it. I know that, when BuzzFeed originally came after the super chat system, nothing really changed there that I know of. But yeah, usually in fall, I would say, I mean, I noticed definitely because I upload so often that there was a change last week, Wednesday, where it used to send out notifications to everyone very quickly. Now it seems to be parting them out.
It does, yeah.
And dripping them out. I used to get, when I uploaded a video, I would get, I would, just like Home Shopping Network watches sales when they upload a video, I watch and see like, I'll baby bird the title or something if I need to change it. So if I put out a video and it got 20,000 views in the first hour, I'd be like, okay, this is a 100K video. Great. Leave it alone. Then if I saw it would get like 10,000 views in the first hour, I'd be like, oh, there's a shit topic or not a good title. But I always would bounce between 10 and 20,000. Then for starting last week, Wednesday, it was almost impossible, no matter what I did, to break 10,000. And I noticed that I started getting my own notifications like 8 hours after I actually uploaded the video, and people were telling me that. And so they changed something on last week, Wednesday, and I think it's to minimize videos' quick impact, maybe on trending topics. Although I don't know, I don't pretend to understand what Google really wants.
They know.
Yeah, I really don't think they know either.
You get a lot of views when you get punched in the head.
Yeah.
Throw that one out there.
I'll take a shot in the mouth for some
What's
views.
the progress with that whole thing with the guy that assaulted you?
They actually banned both of us today for life from the convention.
From Gen Con?
Why both of you?
Wow.
I don't know. They gave some vague thing. They said that I was banned for cyberbullying people, but didn't say who, didn't say what, didn't say, didn't give me any information. So it's just bullshit. I think they're in this position where like, they couldn't just ban Matt because there are a lot of people that disagree with me ideologically that would be pissed. So I think their only real option was to ban us both, even though I did nothing wrong. And I had videos critical of people at Gen Con that the president of Gen Con emailed me about like a week before Gen Con and was like, I mean, they didn't ban me at that time. So I know that this is just bullshit. That they're just like, well, no, we got to ban them both because otherwise we'll take heat.
That's ridiculous. Because from what I understand, this was a totally unprovoked attack. Like you didn't even say anything to him.
Did you call him a cuck or a soy boy?
No, I didn't. I didn't even interact with him online at all. I had no idea who he was. But he clearly knew who I was. But yeah, we're both banned, which is kind of sad because I enjoy Gen Con, but also kind of hilarious too because, I mean, this is stupid.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to Gen Con. I grew up in Ohio, and I always wanted to go because I was really into tabletop gaming as a teenager, and I never got around to it. But now it sounds like it's been taken over, like every other convention.
Yeah, there's a real slant there with conventions these days. Origins Game Fair is another one that, they're just really weird. The thing is, like, the people at the top of Gen Con, I don't mind sharing this now because fuck them, they banned me.
Yeah.
They were always very open with me. Like, look, dude, we fucking hate you. But I mean, or your ideas, but because the last year some people were trying to raise a calamity because I was going and covering it, and they revoked my press pass like the day before I was supposed to go, and it was sold out. So I had like my truck packed. I was ready to drive down there. All of a sudden I get this email. I just happened to look, and I end up calling a bunch of favors. End up on the phone with somebody very high up at Gen Con, and he was basically like, "Yeah, you'd probably call me a hippie and whatever. But yeah, I don't want to just ban people outright over ideology. This is stupid. No, here, I'll leave you tickets at the front desk." So like, they've always been really cool. So that's why I was kind of very surprised to see them really ban either of us, to be honest with you, but especially me.
Well, they got to take
Maybe it's time to start your own con, a better one.
Yeah, like a
cocaine.
Yeah, like a Tanacon type thing.
Yeah, huge success. Yeah,
They got
to ban the guy that hit you, right? Like, you can't just have people.
They should have arrested him. Well, I mean,
yeah, I called the police, and the police just were like, "Oh, it was a drunken bar brawl." I was like, "No, you don't understand. I don't even know who this guy is." And the cop was like, "Oh yeah, I think I." And now I look back, I was like, I'm kind of laughing about it because he goes, "Oh, I think I saw somebody that fit that description over there. Let me go drive away and go look for him." And he just never fucking came back. So then I had to recall the next day and file a report. And so there's litigation going on now. But I'm not optimistic.
Did the guy rock your shit? Like, did he hit you hard enough to where you were like stumbling or anything, or was it like just a little?
Oh, he got a couple. Well, I mean, he hit me from behind like a true hero.
Yeah.
But the guy is not small, and I mean, they were legit punches. Like they weren't. But I mean, I spilled my drink a little bit, but I mean, he got plenty of good shots in.
Yeah.
And like ripped my shirt, and then he fucking punched the window out at the bar like a maniac.
He punched the window out?
Yeah. And this guy's a professor at a college too.
Yeah.
Oh, the professors fuck their students all the time. I'm sure.
Well, there you go.
They're not bastions of
that's
morality.
Not the first time. I think it was Bike Lock guy was a fucking professor of ethics.
Yeah, he got off with just probation too, which is pretty disgusting. But yeah, a lot of people gave me shit. I could see some people, some heroes in chat,
yeah,
about calling the cops. Look, it's not like if it was a bar brawl, I would not have called the police. That's not what this was. And to me, like, that's just a bad precedent to set, to just let something like that go. Then next time the guy has a knife, or next time the guy, hits somebody the wrong way and they end up, dead or seriously injured because he doesn't agree with their politics. Like, you have to file a report in that scenario. Yeah. You have to, like, if we were just get into a bar scuffle, whatever, I'd probably buy the guy a drink afterwards, but that's not what it was.
Right. Yeah. Right. It was a cheap shot. Well, a series of cheap shots. So I agree with you there. It wasn't like there was an exchange and then you guys got into a fight. It was he blindsided.
What if this guy would have hit Mundane Matt? Would that be okay?
That's why I'm saying Mundane Matt rides the fence. What would Mundane Matt have done if he was just like randomly attacked? You know,
he would have made a video about it, apologizing for the punch the day after it happened. He wouldn't wait
Sorry
3
you
weeks
hurt
to
your
apologize. No.
No, it wouldn't have been the day after. It would have been after weeks of badgering.
When I saw you got punched at the Gen Con, it was ridiculous because the guy was supposed to be, you know, a fucking gamer, dude. He represented.
Well,
the
he
company.
wears like punch Nazi shirts and stuff, and of course, you know, Jeremy's a Nazi and everything, so you know he deserves to get punched.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I would have punched you myself, but I wasn't at Gen Con. No, it's
yeah, that's the implication, right? That's also the implication. Is like he's putting that out there. I mean, this guy is so dumb. Like he hid the rest of the weekend, deleted all of his social media like an innocent man would. Then he posts to his like personal. His own friend came and found me at my hotel because I was like, whatever. I'm still drinking, having fun on Saturday or something by Saturday. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm actually friends with him. Look he's got like a secret Facebook page where he posted, everything's cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm just chilling in my hotel room, drinking beers, #punch Nazis. I was like, you fucking idiot. So I like take a picture of it. And like, you know, it's, that kind of stuff has to have consequences. Or you usually just have to try. It's really disheartening to see the bike lock guy not really, I mean, he may have some sort of civil forfeiture, but the idea that he could smash somebody over the head with a bike lock in a sock and not even do a single hour in jail is absurd to me.
Yeah. And that's a deadly weapon.
Yeah, that's assault with a deadly
hit
weapon.
Somebody with a bike lock to hurt them. You hit them to kill them.
I just don't like this punch Nazis thing because it makes it makes you think that you can't beat them in an argument. Like if
you resort
if the
to
Nazis
violence.
are so sound with their arguments that you can't beat them verbally, you have to punch them. It really gives a lot of credence to the hatred and racism. It's like, come on, man, you should be able to be better than this. Be the better person.
We agree a long time ago, like after like I don't know what 1945, that Nazis were bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still waiting to see one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Weren't there tweets didn't he tweet at you before you ran into him saying he wanted to fight you and stuff? I thought
tweeted out. He tweeted out like I put out a video criticizing the Gen Con bringing in Anita Sarkeesian. I said, you know, look, why would you bring her in? She's a dead meme. She's only here to divide. And then he tweeted out non-specifically, if you got a problem with Anita Sarkeesian, then fucking fight me. I'm easy to find. So
you might get punched, Ben.
Yeah. It's
pretty sure. Anita White Knight.
I got the full brunt of that crowd, the Anita crowd, because I was at a tabletop gaming place in Columbus, Ohio, and Anita Sarkeesian just happened to walk in like 15 minutes after I got there. And I took a picture of her over my shoulder. And
without consent.
Yeah. I took a picture of her and posted it on Twitter. Next thing I know,
she's in a public place.
Yeah. She said I violated her privacy or whatever.
I can't believe you violated.
I was being accused of rape and all kinds of.
You
crazy.
Yeah. Well, you are a rapist.
Yeah,
clearly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna get punched now, Ben. Better not go to Gen Con.
Well,
better not go.
My face was anonymous back then.
You'd get punched at PAX though.
No, people don't care.
People are more forgiving at PAX.
She's such a. I mean, if people, that's why she put out. So she attacked Ninja last week, called him like a misogynist just because he won't stream with women because he's married and he doesn't like all the rumors that happen when he does that. People are like begging me to make a video about it. I'm like, nah, because if I make a video about it, then I just give her more clout. Like that's all she wants. She's just you know. She wants people to cover that so she can be a victim and be relevant. So I just, you know, you let it go. And it's really messed up that people, it's this punch Nazis thing. And it's the same thing with alt-right, whatever side you're on. It's like they use that as a bucket of people they disagree with and they just use it to villainize. That's why like literally everybody, you know, who has a single conservative thought by some people are considered alt-right when the reality is the alt-right is fucking tiny and dying. They're insignificant, they're powerless, and the problem is a lot of people in the media have spent so long building up this alt-right boogeyman, and just they have to keep forcing more and more people into it, into that group, so that they can keep saying, oh, well, they're alt-right. Most people in the alt-right, I mean, you're talking about a couple hundred people. You're talking about one or two legitimate YouTubers who both have like 10,000 subscribers. They're irrelevant, but they use it as like this bucket, maybe a basket of deplorables, we might say, and they put people in there just to try and win the argument by default.
When the alt-right
meets up and spread fear, it's fear propaganda. The Nazis are everywhere.
The alt-right will have meetups in Seattle. And like I'll have a bunch of.
Do they really?
Oh yeah,
this is the worst city to have an alt-right meetup.
Because I have a ton of friends that are like left activists and everything. Ton of them.
Like Antifa?
No, not Antifa, but they're like they're social justice type of people.
Yeah.
They're like let's further the divide, and the alt-right will have a meetup. I'll see them all post, they're gonna come, we gotta meet up and counteract, and then the next day on Facebook my whole feed will be like, the police are here protecting them, and it's because there's like maybe 100 alt-right people at this meetup, and there's like 10,000 angry liberal people, because the numbers are just showing that like we're the fucking winning side.
Seattle is the only city that I've ever lived in where there could be a giant statue of Vladimir Lenin that just like
but that was more of a ironic thing. It's right down the street from a giant troll.
Okay.
It's Fremont, man.
Okay.
And we bought that from Russia.
Sometimes people come and paint his hands red.
It's a sign of capitalism. Because we bought that. We bought that when communism fell.
Really?
Yeah, we got that from Russia on like an eBay.
Is that true? I didn't even know that. Not eBay.
I think it was eBay. I really think it was eBay, dude.
All right, I'm going to read these announcements and then we're going to move on to some other stuff. Just a reminder to everyone, September 29th, we're going to have Nitpicks on and someone else to be announced. October 2nd, Social Injustice Warrior. And then October 6th, Billy, guess who we have?
Who we got?
We have Mercedes Carrera and Redhead Redemption.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's going to be a fun show.
That's going to be stupid.
I might have to get your pixelization.
Because they're always a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts. That's a great
also
show.
A reminder, tomorrow, because we had to reschedule it as our Patreon private show, the return of Spin Till You Spew Trivia, me versus Fat Pat, who's ducking me, who's afraid of me.
Yeah.
He postponed the competition
He had to cancel
because he's
it?
seen my true drinking ability.
What can I get in on this? I feel like I grew up my whole life and continue to live in Wisconsin, and we drink a little bit out here.
Yeah,
you want to? All right, how about trivia? Are you probably pretty good at trivia?
Oh, you know what? I have no qualms about
trivia.
taking down a cheesehead. I'll take down a cheesehead any day.
Maybe we got our next competitor.
Yeah, well, after I'm done mopping the floor with Fat Pat, I'll move on to this guy.
You better
next.
beat Fat Pat.
Basically, it's trivia / drinking, and you notice the more you drink, the worse you are at trivia. And that's when you seal the deal.
And Ben somehow beat everybody so far.
My alcohol consumption per body mass is just crazy. I don't know why. Because I'm a small guy. I took him on, beat him. It took 4.5 hours.
No, it took like 6 hours.
6 hours.
We streamed for 8 hours.
To get you to finally puke.
I streamed 2 hours after I vomited all over myself.
Yeah.
Well, we have out here it's like I have a level of drunk where I'm really good at pool. Then I drink a little bit more. Then I'm bad at pool, but then I'm good at darts. Then you drink a little bit more, and you're like, okay, I'm like bar dice drunk now. I'll play some bar dice. So, I think I'm up to the task. We'll see how you do against this Pat character.
You actually have levels? I just drink until I pass out and wake up on my stove.
It's true, though. I'm like that with bowling. I get that right level of stumble into my bowling where, like, I'm throwing...
Bowling, I'm in a bowling league, and, I'm like, I pound 3 drinks before we start just to get it all, like, lubed up.
You got to get that warm up.
Yep. Got to get a little bit of that sweat going.
My problem is that I end up adding weed to it, and then it's all chaos after that. Also,
it's all bad.
Yeah. Also, a reminder: Streamlabs is open throughout the entire show, as well as Super Chat. We'll read them at the end of each segment. Also, 9/11 mode is currently on. I have this bottle of vodka. For every tip that's 9/11 or higher, I will consume vodka. Inbox, Drunken Peasants inbox at gmail.com. Send us your shit that you want us to cover on the show. We have a Discord link. Click the link in the description. Also, the Alter Perspective is this Thursday, 6:15 p.m. Pacific with Godless Engineer. And then also Underhaven, the unofficial DP pre-show. It'll be on Saturday at 3:15 p.m. Eastern with Calm Down, Level Up. Man, we're multi-time zoning here.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. You know, my friend from Mississippi, for some reason, is a Packers fan. And he's going to go to a game in November, and he's never been to a climate like that before.
In November?
It'd still be like in the 30s, maybe.
You think so? Huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might be, could be less. It could be, but it won't be freezing cold.
That lake effect. That's what always killed me. I grew up right near Lake Erie, and we would get insane snow all winter.
I'm trying to migrate to Florida.
It didn't really snow until freaking the end of December, but sometimes it snows in October, so it's just you never really know.
Do you remember that polar vortex in? It was like
yeah.
It was like negative 25 degrees. The craziest thing.
Very, very, very cold for weeks, and it snowed too. So you had to go outside and like shovel a driveway, and it was fucking 20 below zero, 30 below zero.
Yeah. Yeah, they were telling you not to be outside for longer than like 30 minutes at a time. So,
I've grew up in Seattle. It's always like just fine.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
Yeah,
you know,
a couple days where it's too cold, a couple days where it's too hot, and everything else. Is
I looked it up one time because people say it's so rainy here. If you count the overall precipitation in Ohio, like the rain and the snow, it actually rains / snows more there than it does here.
The same. There's more rain in Miami, more rain in New York City.
Yeah.
Seattle just has like
it gets
a drizzle.
weird. Yeah. It's like almost mist. Yeah. Sometimes
it's not bad at all. I used to walk around in it.
21-0 at Spin Till Use Pew. I'll make an Undertaker's streak parody. Also, as the sweet boy watch the official reveal of that new Pokemon that's gonna be in Go soon.
Oh, there's my. Oh, did you just do that? Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Drink.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw the new Pokemon. It's the new mythical Pokemon. He's got like a little lug nut bug dude. He's pretty cute. Yes. We're all super excited as Pokemon players for more tiny little monsters that we can throw.
Are you talking about like Pokemon Go or something else?
Well, I've been playing Pokemon Go.
He plays Pokemon Go. It's part of his weight loss thing. Like he told me that's what got him like active again.
Well, before when Pokemon Go came out, I had like a problem with my leg.
First game between the Bears and Packers was a major upset.
Ooh.
Like the first game of the season?
Probably.
But they were up by like 3 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter, and they fucking lost.
Damn.
Bears. Packers aren't that great this year either, though. So yeah.
Pokemon Go saved my life.
But yeah, Billy, I need to start like. It's hard for me, but I need to start doing what you're doing.
Well, all the drinking is hard.
I know. I love drinking. It's too much.
I'm
good at it. You're supposed to do what you're good at. Oh, fuck.
Another one.
At least 84 hours a week for 2 months straight. Wish me luck. Also drink, bitch.
Drink, bitch.
All right, I will. You know what? People have been asking us to watch the Venom trailer, so we're going to watch that and we'll give our opinions.
We are Venom.
I don't know if I've seen the new one.
Oh. Yeah, people hate it.
I talked to Derek Blackman about this weekend because he's always wearing that Venom hat. And I was like, are you pumped for the Venom movie? He's like, nah, looks stupid. I'm like, what? Really? What the fuck?
A lot of people really didn't like the first look at Venom. Same thing with the Joker, the new Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I like the new Joker. Yeah. I really like Joaquin Phoenix, though. I think he's a great actor, and I think if anybody could play the Joker and try and pull it away from Heath Ledger a little bit, it's him. I feel like he's got all the chops.
I'm a reporter. I always seem to find myself questioning something.
And Tom Hardy's still better than Topher Grace.
I can't look at Tom Hardy without thinking of him as the character he played in the last Star Trek TNG movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was Picard's clone.
yeah. He was Picard's like clone that was like 30 years younger than him, and also he was all sick and thin. He was way thinner than he is now because now he's got like muscle and shit.
Well, he beefed up for the Warrior, and then after that, he was Bane in the third Batman.
Yeah.
movie.
His best role was
I remember
Bronson.
him from. Did you see? It was a really long, Western flick. I think it was called
Just
Lawless.
wanted to say that it's been 3
Yes.
weeks and John
I
McCain
think I've
is
seen
I
still
actually
dead.
liked that movie.
So the garlic and sunlight worked. Happy anniversary.
Wow.
Happy anniversary. Yeah, I haven't
I think
seen
his funeral's still going on.
until Trump shows up, right? Like Trump has to shut it down.
We've been watching some crazy conspiracy theories about that too. People think someone flew him to the Czech Republic or something
To shoot him 21 gun
he
salute
was he
style
was executed by a military tribunal
for treason against Papa Trump.
I found something.
I think it was probably his cancer.
Yeah.
See, my thing, I don't even have a big problem with the look of this movie so far. My thing is, how long is this incarnation of it going to last before they start making a different one? Is it going to be just like
A
2
different
years?
Venom?
Yeah, man.
Depends on how well this
it
does.
seems like they're recycling shit way more often than they did before.
It's because the Amazing Spider-Man, they had to recycle it because it was so bad that they were trying to set up the franchises.
I remember watching Infinity War, and I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? And then all of a sudden, it's Spider-Man. I didn't know who the fuck that was.
Well,
Yeah,
Spider-Man Homecoming was good. I don't
That was
care.
exactly it. I don't think I saw the last Spider-Man with him either. I went and saw Infinity War, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What happened to Topher Grace?
Well, Topher Grace was Venom, right? Like,
Yeah.
he would have been a better Peter Parker.
Dude, that emo Spider-Man movie was just too
Tobey
much.
Maguire
was
terrible at that third one.
He
third
turned
one wasn't even
emo.
that bad. It was just
who made the creative decision? Oh, you know what? When he's affected by the suit, he's gonna turn emo.
well, at the time, emo was big, right?
Right? It was.
So it made sense to kind of do something with it that made it. But it wasn't just
so
emo.
weird.
It was
Yeah.
goofy,
Instead of
right?
Instead of just giving alien powers and making you super strong, as soon as the symbiote suit gets on you, you're like, I like AFI.
Yeah.
The idea behind it, though, is that he gets this confidence that he shouldn't have because he's always been a nerd. So he has this like cockiness that doesn't really fit with Peter Parker. So it felt weird, and I think it was just too weird for us to really get behind. I really like Sam Raimi though, so I'll defend him.
So are they releasing this now because it's like a superhero movie that kind of has like horror elements to it?
Yeah, but I think Spawn will be better.
I was just going to say Spawn would be... I can't believe they haven't remade that.
They are remaking it right now, right?
They are.
I'm pretty sure McFarlane's
are
directing.
I don't want to sound like a hipster, but I like.
Jamie Foxx is going to be Al Simmons.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
And Jeremy Renner is going to be Twitch, the one of the cops, Sam and Twitch.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I liked the
apparently
animated
it's supposed to be
series.
told through the eyes of the criminals that are getting killed off one by one. So Spawn is actually going to be more like the creature that is hunting them down, and they don't know much about him.
That
so it's
sounds
going to
cool.
be kind of take on that feel of a kind of a horror stalker film.
Our patron Manny said hello to Jeremy. He might be a fan of Jeremy's because
Manny
he likes
plays Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah, our one patron Manny, he ate a Magic card live.
Ew.
On the
Because we told him
he
to.
literally
We're bullies.
You're abusing your power. You're in a position of power, Billy. You abused it.
No, it did feel like I was molesting him at the time.
I didn't think he was really going to do it.
Oh, I knew he would do it.
You knew it?
Hey, dude, if I tell someone to do something, if I tell someone to put something in their mouth, they're going to do it.
Yeah, and if they don't, they know there's consequences.
Then they're
right?
going to get something else in their mouth.
Okay, there's two
An
tens
apology.
in there, so we got to get that going.
Hello, patron.
You're cruising for
Appreciate
a
you.
boozin'. Drink up.
Cruising for a boozing. Yeah, Ben's about to get drunk early tonight.
Oh, fuck. And I run this shit, too. That's a bad sign.
Yep.
The planet on the brink of collapse.
Oh, shit. I spilled it everywhere.
Are disposable.
You're already wasted.
Man and symbiote combined. This is a new race, a new species. A higher life form. What do you want from me?
Are they gonna fit this in with all the other shit that they just combined in Infinity War?
No, somebody else owns the rights to Venom.
Okay.
Well, no, Venom is owned by Sony.
Owns Venom.
Sony still owns Spider-Man, but they're lending Spider-Man to Marvel in exchange for Marvel making their Spider-Man movies. Marvel gets paid off of everything Spider-Man shows up in like the Avengers, and Sony gets the money from everything that Marvel makes with Spider-Man directly. So it's like a joint partnership with Marvel.
The Fox X-Men, I'm waiting for them to give it to Marvel to see what they do with it.
I want to see what happens to Deadpool.
It's so weird that they've come this far with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and there's no X-Men the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is arguably...
Well, they were waiting for... I mean, they were running Wolverine into the ground, too. I mean, they got to bring up some young kid to be the new Wolverine. He's too popular just to abandon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They'll bring Wolverine.
One of my favorite parts of Deadpool 2 was the cameo by Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I had read the original Origins story with Wolverine, so I was glad that they made that into a movie. Because that, in the 90s, Wolverine was so mysterious. We didn't know anything about him. So,
well, remember when he became Weapon X? I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Then I took like one summer off of reading comics, and he was like, his head was in a bubble or something. What the fuck?
Do you remember when he was Patch?
No.
Yeah, I'm 37, so I don't know how. Like when I first started collecting comics in like the late 80s, he used to go around as a character named Patch, and he wore an eye patch and stuff.
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, that was like an alter ego type thing that he did.
I remember when Magneto ripped all the adamantium off of his skeleton.
Bone Claw.
Yeah, that's when he became Weapon X.
Yeah.
And then Weapon X was when they put the adamantium in.
Yeah, when he joined Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Well, what was he when he was like just a floating?
But Magneto,
Weapon X was the helmet,
off,
the naked body.
And then
with
he found
the helmet.
out he still had the claws. They were just bone.
The bone claw.
Yeah, the bone claw Wolverine.
Yeah, and that's how you found out that his claws weren't just installed.
They were part of his mutation.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to watch the Venom movie regardless. I am not looking forward to it based on the trailer. I hope that it doesn't suck.
Whatever.
Yeah, I watched so many shit movies. I'm going to give Tom Hardy a chance in Venom because I like Venom. I like Tom Hardy. But this trailer is not doing anything particular for me.
Well, I feel like it's gonna live or die by the CG.
That's true.
If he looks cheesy,
I don't know. I might be a different from you guys because I like to give Tom Hardy a chance because most of the time when I think he's not going to do good, he does great.
How does this look to you?
When they announced in Batman he was going to be Bane, I was like, seriously, Tom Hardy? It was awesome. So
yeah, that's true.
A lot of people didn't like the way Venom looked. Obviously,
shit, so
this
glad
is
to see Jeremy and Magog and the show.
Thank you. Okay, another.
Ben might have to turn off 9/11 mode. You
I'm not turning off shit.
You got to do Fat Pat tomorrow, man. You gonna do it with a hangover?
Oh, you're damn right. I'm gonna do Fat Pat tomorrow.
Okay.
Pucker up.
The prep.
Fat Pat.
This is like when
yeah,
competitive eaters, the night before they compete, they eat grapes, so
Billy,
it expands their
I used
stomach.
to do that.
This
yeah,
is his form of that.
Yeah, Billy was in the competitive eating. A lot of those guys aren't fat though.
Yeah,
like the hot dog guys.
They're
all
some tiny
thin.
little Asian ladies that can pound hot dogs.
Well, even the white dude, I can't remember his name right
Joey.
now. Yeah. I mean, he's not fat.
Yeah.
Well, there's that YouTuber too that kind of became. He was a competitive eater, and now he's a pretty popular YouTuber. What the hell is his name? Yeah.
Furious Pete, he eats because he's a bodybuilder, right? Like bodybuilders, they have to eat so much. But it's interesting, like all the tips and tricks that you learn when you do that. It's kind of gross. But I'm looking at this picture of the symbiote here. It's alien, right? Like, they're trying to
give
invoke
Tom
that?
Hardy movies a chance because I'm hoping to see him naked.
Then you got to watch Bronson.
Good
He's
for
naked
you.
throughout most. He has badass fight scenes naked.
I remember the old Spider-Man comics. Oh, I remember the old Spider-Man comics when Spider-Man was in the black suit. That was
Oh,
around.
gross. You really did vomit on yourself.
Yeah. You
On
see
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin right there, because he had lost 4 rounds in a row. Basically, at the end of every round, whoever has the lower score has to spin the wheel, and the wheel has different types of booze on it. But some of the spaces say double, which means you have to spin again. And if you spin it again, you have to do a double shot of whatever you spun on.
I took 4 shots of tequila in a row.
Didn't you get like 2 doubles in a row, which means
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I took 4 shots of tequila like back to back to back after I was drinking for 6 hours, and it just hit
Did that
me.
just creep on you?
Oh,
You
it
didn't
was
even feel
bad.
it coming?
Nope. It was just,
Your body's like, get out.
Yep.
Tequila doesn't creep up on you.
The symbiote expelled
Tequila
from
hits
me.
you in the face with a brick.
It's
like 1 minute you're fine, and then the next minute you stand up and go, nope.
And then I kept streaming for like hour and a half, 2 hours afterwards.
Dude, you were on fire, dude. You were like, I love being drunk, and you also you were like, let's go live on, because we were doing a Patreon show, which was
Private
like
show.
private. You were like, let's go live for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And by this time, you had like puke all over your shirt and shit.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. I made him clean the bucket the next morning. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. You're going to have to clean this
And I
puke
was doing
bucket.
keto, so I couldn't go get any of the good hangover food you normally like
you know
greasy
what?
potatoes. And
I'll admit it, that may have something to do with me winning, because your body's burning calories like crazy. Like, you've lost over, now it's like 150 pounds since January.
It's over. It's over.
You've
that.
almost lost
It's
my
over
entire body weight.
I'm like 160
Drink up
pounds down
Benpai.
at least.
Looking good, Bill.
Damn. Thank you, baby. But
all right, let's get into action
Congratulations
news.
on that, dude. That's awesome. I've been doing I'm down like 60, but I've been doing paleo, and I'll tell you what, that has put a severe dent in my ability to binge drink.
Yeah.
Because I never used to get hangovers. But you're right. That's like the worst part. The next day, I'm like, man, I just want like a McDonald's fucking.
It's true.
Omelet or
some McGriddles,
fatty food.
Yeah,
it's so good when you're hungover. It's so
the
good.
carbs, the
Have
heavy
you guys
bread
heard of
helps.
How tall are you,
that very
Jeremy?
popular diet that people are trying now? What's it called? The
cocaine.
Cocaine diet. Yeah, I want to try that.
Yeah.
How tall are you,
I want to
Jeremy?
try that a lot.
There was some floating around this weekend, and I've never wanted to do it because I'm like, I'm out of shape. I don't want my heart to explode. I'm more of a weed guy. Like, let's bring it down. I'm already high energy, you know?
Yeah. I've always been like Chris Farley, John Candy, Belushi. Their heart explodes, and I get offered drugs all the time. I've
The
turned
other
them down
day,
my whole
he said
life.
something really dark to me, too. He's like, this is probably the diet I'm going to eat for the rest of my life, because I don't know when I'm going to die.
I don't
And
know.
I'm like, fuck,
Not
dude.
wrong.
I mean, why
Yeah,
stop? Right?
I mean, yeah, but you're lucky to be in decently good health, regardless of the fact that you weighed 600 pounds at one point.
I would have.
No diabetes, no high blood pressure.
I'm so
none of
mad
that
they
shit.
never gave me a 600-pound life when I was like basically 600 pounds. It would have been.
You
the
got
best
offered
one
to be
ever.
the spokesman for the heart attack grill. Isn't that good enough?
The last two
Literally, at
died of
least
heart
you don't have
attacks.
the bad habits I do.
Yeah, he doesn't smoke, and I've had to bully him to get him to smoke weed.
Yeah, I get bullied. I have to get bullied into doing promiscuous sex and weed and all that stuff. I hate it.
It's weird bullying someone that could kick your ass pretty easily. Anyway.
Well, yeah, but weed bullying's always like, come on.
Yeah. And you're like, it's just weed. I might as well do a weed. And then I get super high and want to pass. I did a gravity bong on one of Ben's private shows.
Yeah.
And I couldn't
Oh
even
my
talk.
God.
I couldn't even talk. It
Yeah,
was so
you
bad.
took it really hard.
I was I was
Weed's
trying
a
to say
terrible drug
words.
if you're on a diet though, because when I smoke
It's true.
weed, everybody told me I'd get all these creative ideas and I'd have all these thoughts in my head. The only thing I thought of is how to get a hold of some fucking Cheetos.
Yeah. That's the worst thing about weed. It's not even how high I get, because I do get stupid high, but then I get stupid hungry. And I just want to eat like every garbage food there is.
Yeah, you were mad
That
the
is
other
not good
day.
for somebody on a diet.
I just go outside and grill. My wife will come home. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm just outside, like in my boxers, grilling like 3 burgers.
I grill
What are
every
you
day,
doing? Like,
even in the
I
winter.
can't eat any chips.
I grill. I've grilled steaks for Billy.
Yeah, Ben's good at the grill.
Yeah.
I'm not so good. I don't know why. I'm not a great griller.
I'm not great when I'm super baked either. I'm just kind of like, it's either I eat it raw or I forget about it, and then there's just three like hockey pucks in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and
it's never good.
I'll tell you what, it's even worse when you live in a legal weed state and the weed is just unbelievably strong, like it is here. I get the munchies so hardcore. Really bad.
It's rough.
Let's move into the news.
Here's Billy.
Good old puking dog.
Here's something I saw today. Ted Cruz tried to go to a restaurant. I don't like Ted Cruz. I think he's an asshole. I don't agree with pretty much anything he says. But the guy deserves to be able to go to a restaurant, and he tried to, and people like chased him out.
Well, that's true of anyone too, right? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
We believe survivors!
We believe survivors, they're chanting. That was Senator.
He tried to go eat at this restaurant, and I think it was like a group of protesters.
Ted Cruz and his wife Heidi being
look
forced
at
out of a
people.
Washington restaurant by left-wing activists. I guess they're talking about the sexual assault accusations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The Texas senator endorsed Kavanaugh.
By the way, I've had to explain to so many people that I don't know if the allegations against Kavanaugh are true or not, but we should not set a standard where anyone with an accusation against them from decades ago, without any real evidence, we shouldn't set that standard that disqualifies someone from the Supreme Court.
Oh, I'm at a state now where sadly, I don't believe any of it ever. Because it's just like, it's like you can anytime a nomination or vote's coming up, it's like, oh, cue the person from the past who they did something weird to, with no evidence.
It's clearly political.
It's going to start happening at the presidential level too. Just wait till the next election. Some random person is going to accuse one or both of the candidates of.
Well, there's a whole bunch of shit about Donald Trump doing that stuff, and he still won.
No, but no individual came out though. Everyone came out after because they got big paydays. I mean, like
that's exactly right.
Right.
I was talking to somebody in an Uber this weekend about that. I said, you don't think that somebody from like the DNC or the RNC, we find someone walking down the street and it's like, yo, here's $20,000. Make this accusation. Like, the people are never convicted. It never goes to court. It's just an accusation, and that's all they need for one 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, and look at the lady that has accused Kavanaugh has already like pushed back the trial multiple times. Like her lawyer keeps coming out and it's like, oh, she's not emotionally ready. It's like, you've had 35 years.
And I've had people tell me just because there's no evidence doesn't mean it didn't happen. And I agree. But
in court it does.
Yeah, in court it does. But right now, we can't use that as a litmus test for whether or not someone should be on the Supreme Court or should be in elected office. If there's no evidence, we can't set this standard because it's very dangerous that if we go in that direction.
Yeah,
it's the same
guilty
thing.
Until proven innocent, and that's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, well, when you weaponize, like the Me Too movement, for example, started out as something probably honorable, but then you look at what happened to Hardwick, or all these other people, and you live in a world where you're just guilty.
We saw Chloe Dykstra at PAX, and I was like, Billy, go up to her and ask her to get your picture taken with her. He's like, I don't want to get Me Too'd.
Nope.
Yeah, you would.
I don't want to, dude. I don't want to. I will stay away from that because I felt when that first came out, I was like, no, not Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
And then it was like he was exonerated, right? And I was like, fuck.
She was like standing right behind us, and we were like, oh, I was like, go stand next to her. I want to get you on video with her.
I'm doing it.
Smart move.
I don't want to.
Well, that's yeah, I felt so bad for him. I probably believe most of the things she said. He's probably a douchebag in real life, but he wasn't, what everyone was painting him out to be. And I mean, the guy got, he got his job back, thankfully.
I'm glad.
But, he defeat the odds.
One of the few.
Nobody else.
Bill Cosby got sentenced today, 3 to 10 years.
Actually, I have a thing about that. Here's
straight.
All right, here we go. Back to a breaking story covering Bill Cosby as the sentencing is coming down from this judge in Norristown, Pennsylvania. Let's go straight to Athena Jones with the news. Athena, what do you have?
Hi, Brooke. That's right. Bill Cosby being sentenced to 3 to 10 years.
I heard he might do some of this at home. Is that true? I mean,
ankle bracelet.
I mean, he's disabled. Well, his home is an opulent mansion with acres of land and shit. So yeah. I mean, it's not a real punishment if he had to serve it at home.
Well, he's not. I thought I heard that they offered him no bail. They locked him up right away.
Well, it specifically says in-state prison.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I think that's a rumor. I don't think they're going to put an ankle bracelet on him.
Maybe the three.
It says right there, in-state prison.
Well, he'll do like 6 months. And then they'll bounce him.
He's elderly and disabled.
The 3 might be in prison, and then the option to come out might come whether he has good behavior to put on.
And I agree. I agree. We should make exceptions for someone who's probably gonna die soon and is blind and shit.
He doesn't need to be.
I mean, he'd be a sitting duck in maximum security prison.
Yeah.
As a blind guy, So
somebody would come in and take his pudding cup.
Like.
Some people probably feel like this is a short sentence.
You know what though? It's true, but I still don't believe I don't believe even a rapist deserves to be raped as punishment.
But they all are.
If rape is wrong, it's wrong.
It is wrong.
So I'm not okay with it happening in prison.
But the guards let it happen. They let people get fucking stabbed.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
It happens all the time.
Rape is wrong. Whether it happens to a rapist or not, rape is wrong.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be part of your punishment, whether it's official or not.
The thing about Bill Cosby...
That's a very objective and level-headed opinion, and I respect you for it. But, tell that to somebody whose daughter was raped.
Bill Cosby's accusations...
You can take that emotional appeal.
It's not thinking.
You can take that emotional appeal with me, but justice is justice. I mean, you could say the same thing if,
just saying, you can't stop people from having that emotion.
I'm also against the death penalty, and yes, if my family was murdered, I would want the motherfucker that killed them to die.
Yeah.
But justice should be it should be looked upon from an outside perspective.
Prison's different than outside, though. Prison.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying you can't stop people from saying that kind of stuff.
Sure.
3 years
stuff, because it gets very emotional, especially with rape and murder and child rape and child murder. You just want the motherfucker who did that to die.
What about?
You can't help that. It's a very human.
Absolutely.
Reaction.
What about the option? 3 years in prison or 3 rapes?
Dude, that sounds like something they do in Singapore.
A whole year.
Oh, you did not put toilet seat down. 2 years in prison or 3 rape.
I'd take 3 days.
You heard it here, folks. Jeremy is an advocate for Hammurabi's code.
I'm asking. What would you pick?
I'd take 3 rapes.
So even
I would too.
Yeah, it's just good math. I'd rather.
So butt rape, big dick in your ass.
As long as it.
What if they brought
out? Tell Dusty the cockatiel that he's a beautiful bird.
Okay, this isn't something weird. This is a guy that supports our show, and he gets video of everyone saying his cockatiel is beautiful. Just say, Dusty, Dusty, you're a beautiful bird.
Dusty, you're a beautiful bird.
Thank you.
Another one in the bird fan fam.
Even stranger than this was Bill Cosby's spokeswoman that came out today.
I didn't see that.
As administrators of justice have a responsibility to protect the innocent and are prohibited from offering any evidence that is untrue. We have now learned and will prove that Bill Cosby was denied his right to a fair trial because the DA of Montgomery County, Kevin Steele, used falsified evidence against him.
I will say that this trial has gone on for half of a decade, so it's kind of hard to believe that he didn't get a fair trial.
Has it been?
Yes. 5 years.
Yeah. His accusations were rampant through Hollywood.
He drugged and raped people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I believe it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't want to believe it because I liked him. He's You know, Bill Cosby's one of those few like straight comedians where he didn't, which is ironic, where he didn't tell
he
any
didn't
dirty
curse or
jokes,
nothing.
and he was still funny. You know, he had that timing and stuff. You know,
you know what's more. You know what's sick though too is how everybody knew. Like you look at the shit with Kevin Spacey too. Why does everybody in Hollywood know? That like, I mean, it takes essentially Hannibal Buress is the one that finally brought justice.
True.
And like, and then you have Kevin Spacey, like Family Guy makes a joke about it years ago. And so, you know, how come these people are keeping the secrets? This is
Seth
insanity.
MacFarlane was making jokes about Harvey Weinstein
Did
for
Kevin
years.
Spacey rape anybody though?
Well, he tried to get with a 14-year-old boy at a Hollywood party.
Did
right?
he know he was 14?
I don't know, but it was at a Hollywood party from what but also, you know, there's stories of him being a little too touchy with other people. I knew a girl when I was down in LA. She had a friend that was like a dude that Kevin Spacey was trying to get with.
So Kevin Spacey is totally gay.
In exchange for a role. Well, he's bi. Like I don't know if he's totally gay.
Leaning gay.
In his apology,
Well, he's
he
living
said
life as a gay man now.
he said he chose to live life as a gay man,
As a
right?
protected
That's right,
class.
Yeah. And I think that pissed him off more than the rape, where the gay people were like, "You can't choose to be gay. You can't choose it."
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
whoa.
burn him.
Yeah.
We were willing to forgive the
like-
pedophilia and rape, but not
So
that.
like, if he came on to someone at a party, at a Hollywood party where most people are adults,
Yeah.
and the person was like, "Hey, I'm only 15," or even if they didn't even say that, if they're like, "I'm not interested, leave me alone," and then he still like grabbed on him and shit, that is fucked up.
Yeah, no, I think if I remember it was more like he knew he was young.
Okay.
And the kid had told him he was young. It was like a creepy tale where like he had cornered him in the bedroom and
Okay. Because we have to be honest.
A little bit more than
with both genders, there are 14-year-olds who look like they're like 21, 22, 23 years old. So
Well,
I
that's
don't.
why I remember. I mean, some of you are old enough to remember, but this is more close to home to me because I followed the Green Bay Packers. But back in the 90s, we had a tight end who basically had sex with some 16-year-old at a house party in a hot tub. And like, okay, law's the law. That's my default. Before I go for any further, the law is the law. All right.
Sure.
I stand by the law. But you're at a party. I could see how he ends up in that situation. Just
Sure.
like where like Kevin Spacey ends up in a situation where, you know, I don't know if I could really be convinced a 14-year-old looks like they're 18, but I've definitely seen 16-year-olds that look 18.
Sure.
And I don't want to defend Kevin Spacey or anybody really.
I don't want to
because
defend him
it's
either.
It's like they're rich.
But is he Bill Cosby level? Is my question.
Well,
Bill Cosby knowingly drugged and raped people.
Yeah, that was really
Did he
bad.
flirt with someone at a party? It's
pressure himself onto somebody. That's shitty. A lot of these Me Too accusations that have been coming out have been hitting people who have deals with Netflix.
I've seen CNN put up a graphic and put a bunch of people together. At the top, they have Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, two confirmed rapists. Bill Cosby drugging people and raping them, which is even worse. And then below them, they'll put like Louis C.K. and shit
Louis
like that.
C.K. is not a criminal, in my opinion.
It's not even comparable.
It's still something we have to talk about as a society, right? We have
but you can't. That's propaganda right there, though. They're making an equivalent of drugging and raping people to, a drunken night in a hotel where a dude whips his dick out. It's not.
He
the
didn't
same
even whip
thing.
it out. He asked permission.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has a kink. What did he do?
Is there anything?
Quit kink shaming people, Hollywood.
Yeah. Is there anything more cringy than that tape of Harvey Weinstein like begging that chick to stay? Do you remember hearing that tape?
No, I haven't.
Come on, baby.
Oh man.
People know me here. People know me. Don't make it. Just stay. Just stay. People. I was like, oh my god, you're so sad, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, it's gone on for a long time. I mean, look what happened with Roman Polanski. That guy still can't set foot in the United States.
He'll never
But he
do it.
definitely raped a child.
Oh yeah.
And his child, the child that he was with, is like supportive of him now. She's
I mean, like she's supportive of him, like Kind of.
I read her thing on Reddit.
The issue to die is what she wants.
She was like supporting him on Reddit. It was crazy. She had an AMA. It was.
She just wants it over. She doesn't want to go to court over it.
She doesn't want to be known as that person forever.
Right.
I thought
she's
it was
like 50 years old
standing
now.
ovation though. Even after he was, you know what I mean? Like, remember that like 3 years ago they gave him a standing ovation. I was like, it was that moment. I was like, Hollywood's fucked up.
She doesn't want to keep reliving, because if he went to court now, she'd have to go to trial for it and everything.
Yeah.
She just wants to put it behind her. And that's
it was
why.
weird. That was a weird situation. She was 13 at the time, and they were at Jack Nicholson's house.
Right. And she's been dealing with this shit like every day of her life since it happened. And so I understand why she wants it.
Gigi Allen's corpse in the chat says, also, why the fuck are we jailing people that could die any minute? Because they deserve to be jailed.
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't. Yeah, you should have a free pass.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise,
I think
cancer,
the reason the sentence is so low is because he probably doesn't have 3 to 10.
Could you imagine all the rape going on at the senior center?
I think the reason the sentence is so low is because sentences are fairly low for rape anyways. This is one instance of his raping. It was 2004 incident. He's being charged 3 to 10 years for this one incident. Like, this isn't like all the incidents he's ever been under.
Yeah, I think that they probably could add more on. I think this was just the one charge that stuck, right? I think that's because he had like, I mean, a baker's dozen of women that came forward.
It's true.
Before Hannibal Buress made the comedy, the stand-up thing that outed Bill Cosby and pretty much started the Me Too movement. But before that, Janice Dickinson was on a TV show that I did down in LA, and she was like, she just in the middle of her show, she started going off about how Bill Cosby raped her. It was like a year before, and nobody cared when she said it because she's like a crazy woman, right?
So she goes on. She is kind of crazy though.
She is.
I wanted to move on to this. This is a crazy news story. In New Mexico, a library that had a specific web domain for their library wasn't renewed. So now when people go to the library website, there's like porn ads on it.
Good afternoon. A New Mexico library's website is getting a lot of attention, but not for what the library has to offer. The homepage is now covered with sex ads. So what's going on? News 13's Elena Mendoza found.
New Mexico is a very poor state. Like there's multiple cities in New Mexico that don't even have paved roads. I lived there for a while, and it's pretty messed up. And yeah, this is the average guy that lives in New Mexico.
That something like that could happen.
Yeah, I wish.
Finding it just a little despicable.
While the top of the Tularosa Library's website may look wholesome enough, the bottom half is not for kids. By the village of Tularosa about the inappropriate images earlier this year, and the village can't do anything about
See that shit? The one at the top is the most hilarious.
them.
The ads are for enhancements of female and male parts.
The village says the
They
original
probably didn't pick it. It was probably like somebody was looking at that shit that ended up like cookied on the website.
They're holding the domain ransom. They'll say it later. They're like, pay us 15.
Oh, okay.
They're saying pay us $15,000 or else it's gonna stay this
website
way.
was created by a group called
Snipe their domain.
Yep.
the Friends of the Tularosa Library, but they let the
And this is a small town in New Mexico, which means they don't have
license on the
$15,000
domain name lapse.
at all.
Since then, they have disbanded. We have a new librarian, and it kind of went by the wayside, and I don't think that page was used very much.
She believes after the domain name expired, a business out of California swooped in and grabbed it. The village has called the business to see if they can at least remove Tularosa's name off the page.
Nah.
The business said no, because it brings in a lot of traffic to the site.
I guess
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much predatory shit online like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Like, I used a photo on a Facebook poll years ago, and I got some stupid email from a lawyer being like, oh, we need to collect $5,000 from you because you used one of our pictures.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck you. I went and deleted the post and like, no, you have no case.
It's got to do a cease and desist, right? You have to take it down, and they have to prove you had damages against them.
They didn't ask me to
court.
take it down. They asked me to pay them.
make money off of the advertisements that they have on there. If somebody clicks on it, they make money. So in turn, they want a lot of money for us to purchase the domain.
We're talking
name
about,
back.
by the way, a few pennies. Like, this is what I do for a day job. So, like, I know what those ads, like, I don't run porn ads for a day job. Let me correct that. But,
Right.
I mean, like, this is, like you said, completely predatory. It's not like they're making millions off those ads and they need 15 grand. No.
Right.
Lucero says the business demanded at least $15,000 for the domain name, money the small town doesn't have. For now, all the village can do is post a message on its official website explaining the situation.
Kids get on that
That's so sad.
I'm sure.
It's a fucking library. I feel bad.
It's a tiny library, like big.
It
deal.
is, but it's the only library in that whole town.
Sure of it.
So
That's
None of these
Well,
fucking
I mean,
reads.
Yeah. It's funny.
My kids.
it is funny. That's why I'm playing
Or my
it.
teenagers or anybody, even my grandmother, I would want her to see that.
Just hope they can figure out something to do about it soon.
In Tularosa,
Yeah, because kids can't find porn on the internet.
Right.
Mendoza, KRQE.
When I was a
News
kid,
13.
whitehouse.gov was the White
Yeah, it
House
still
website,
is.
and whitehouse.com
Yes!
was a porn website.
Yes, my history teacher accidentally gave that out. Whitehouse.com.
Yeah. I used to go to whitehouse.com all the time in class and just sit there until a teacher caught me so I could be like, no, it was an accident.
Oops, I
Just
tried to
start
go to the
shit.
government website.
I was a horrible little kid.
All right, Trump.
That's that ethno-state porn.
Trump, he was talking to the UN today, and he thought he was at a Trump rally, and he used his usual Trump shtick.
Oh.
And everybody laughed at him
No,
instead.
no.
President Trump may not have gotten the reaction he expected today when he...
And by the way, Jake Tapper, he was better than Monday Matt because he apologized to us very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yes.
used a...
He didn't mention us in his Milo. He called us an obscure alt-right
Right-wing podcast.
Yeah,
Obscure
alt-right
right-wing
podcast. And then
That's what I signed up for.
yeah,
the go-to campaign line on a room full of world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly. Instead of cheers, the crowd at the UN laughed at the president when he's
not
tried
used
to
to
brag
that.
in his distinct hyperbolic style about his administration's accomplishments.
Oh,
but the moment
man.
didn't stop the president from reinforcing his America First message and issuing a stark warning to leaders in Iran. CNN's Jeff Zeleny is live outside the UN for us. And Jeff, last year the president threatened North Korea from that very same UN stage.
It's hilarious. And now he's buddies. He calls him Chairman Kim. Dude is a mass murderer. Like, he's been in power long enough to call him a mass murderer. There's like people starving to death.
Well, he killed his uncle or whatever, right?
He killed his ex-girlfriend
Allegedly.
for
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
porn.
Poisoned him.
Yeah.
President Trump opened with the signature
I love
line.
this.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration.
This is bullshit. I'm sorry. Whether you like him or not, no, he has not accomplished more than any other administration
in the history of our
He said
country.
most
But the booming of
Yeah, I mean, like
That's politics speak for I did better than the last guy.
we had Roosevelt, FDR. He served like over 3 terms. And I mean, like, it's hard to say you did more.
applause that fills
Trump
the
just
air at
needs
his
a new
campaign
deal.
rallies.
The
evoked
new
a different
deal.
response from world leaders and
The art of the
diplomats.
New Deal.
Laughter at the president's expense.
Look at him. They're all laughing at him. Look at his face. He even says, "I wasn't expecting that."
Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Hey, he played it off all right. You got to give it to him
Yeah,
there.
you got to give it to. He didn't get all like angry or nothing.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't think he was okay? He didn't show anger, but you don't think he's I mean, like,
Well, he's embarrassed, I'm sure.
sure. I mean, I've learned over time, Trump is kind of a petty guy, and over time, he will.
He's gonna bomb the UN now.
Yeah.
In his second speech to the United Nations General Assembly, the president reaffirmed his rejection of globalism.
When your hair looks like that, I mean, seriously, you've got to have a fragile ego.
Translating his America
he
First
did a
mantra
Comedy
to the
Central
world
roast,
stage.
right? Like, he can take the hits.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah.
Like, he could take it. Yeah.
You know, the episodes of SNL that he was on have been like omitted from. Like if you buy a Hulu Plus membership, you get all of SNL.
Huh.
But the Trump episodes.
Interesting.
At least that's what I've heard. That
could be
I could be
propaganda.
right. Yeah, I could be
That
wrong.
could be bullshit.
I could be
That
wrong.
could be complete bullshit. We don't know.
I like
We'll
that when
see.
he did the Comedy Central roast, the things that were off topic or that were not allowed for comment was how much money he actually has. He was like, you can't make jokes about how much money I actually have. You can't say I'm not a billionaire. But he greenlit them making jokes about him fucking Ivanka. Like, that's so nuts to me.
That's priorities for you. That's a billionaire's priorities. I like when Snoop Dogg was on that. Like, Snoop Dogg was on Trump's roast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and cracked jokes about him if he ever ran for president. He'd push another black family out of their home. and then, like, he gets elected president, and Snoop Dogg is just like, that racist motherfucker. I'm like, you were on his roast.
Yeah, fuck you, Snoop, man.
A lot
He's
of those
fucking played out anyway.
A lot of those roasts are like the celebrities. Those are pre-written for them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
they get writers.
You know, the weirdest video I ever saw was at a WrestleMania, from the early 2000s. Jesse Ventura was in the ring. It was just after he stopped being the governor of Minnesota. And he was like, who am I going to interview? Who's around the ring? And he's like, oh, Donald Trump. He found Donald Trump at ringside sitting there. And he's like, if I run for president, Donald Trump, will you support me? And Donald Trump's like, yes, I would, absolutely. Which is hilarious because when Trump ran for president, Jesse Ventura did not support Donald Trump at all.
But I think like Trump himself kind of he took on some pretty crazy stances that those people probably wouldn't have endorsed back when they were rubbing shoulders with him, right? Like Trump had a pretty drastic change in his politics. He was a Hillary supporter. You know, he was pretty New York liberal. I don't know.
Yeah, people forget that he's a New York Republican, which basically means he's a Democrat.
Yeah, it's true. And no one ever brought this up. No one thought to ask Trump, did you vote for Hillary Clinton? Because Hillary Clinton was his senator and he campaigned for her and he gave her money. That would have been.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. But no one ever brought that up, which is so weird to me. Like,
that would have been a good gotcha at the podium.
That's
or
what
in a
I'm
debate,
saying.
man.
I'd been saying it for days, too. Someone should ask Trump if he had ever voted for Hillary and why would you vote for her for senator, but tell someone not to vote for her for president.
Well, they were obviously because they were fucking
bullshit.
competing.
Yeah.
Okay? Like,
yeah. Because it
there
wasn't
doesn't have to
running
be a
against him.
conspiracy there. He was probably like, Hillary, I'm your enemy now.
But
I mean, that's just the way it's got to be.
But how many presidential candidates, like from the Republicans and the Democrats, could say you voted for me before? It's very rare. You know?
Well, they'd also have to prove that.
George Bush couldn't. You can't prove it, but I mean, there's records of campaign contributions and like,
that kind of stuff. I mean, he's rubbing elbows with people that will help him with his business. That's not a big deal. I mean, come on, he's a businessman. He's gonna fucking help people
some
who
of
are
us
going to help business.
Some of us just ride the Lolita Express for networking. Okay.
It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I still prefer Trump over her. Sorry, I do.
And it's not even about that though, but who can say
keep suiciding people? It's freaky.
Like no one, like John Kerry couldn't have been like, George Bush, you voted for me before. You know, like every election ever. But there was actual evidence that Donald Trump had voted for Hillary before. That's the weird part about it. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I hate to agree with Tucker Carlson, but here it is.
Tonight we have a development in our ongoing exclusive investigation into the behavior of...
Me too. Tech tranny. Tonight, featuring our tech tranny, we have Blair White joining us on...
I got a new iPhone.
Guys, come on.
Now, Google, as you know, is the most powerful company in the history of the world. Virtually all human information flows through its software, and for that reason, Google shapes much of how the world understands reality. At the heart of Google's business is its search engine, which has a virtual monopoly on search in this country and others. Google Search
The top two
succeeds
search
because it is
websites are owned by
blindingly
Google.
efficient, but also because it is
goes on
perceived
YouTube.
as honest. When you search for a term on Google, the most popular results come to the top. The process is straightforward and democratic. That's what most people think. That's how it's perceived. And that's why the world trusts Google. But what if Google was lying to you? What if the results that you got were secretly weighted to get you to vote a certain way, to believe a certain thing?
I mean, if we already accept the fact that Google targets advertisers to get us to buy things, why would we not believe that they get us to vote a certain way?
I mean, people in Russia who buy YouTube ads get people to vote a certain way. It's information, and it can sway. It can sway people. That's advertising. It gets you to vote with your wallet. It gets you to buy.
If I go
things.
to Google and search Hawaiian cruise, I will get ads for Hawaiian cruises for the next 3 months minimum.
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah, it's the way the world works now.
Yeah,
information is we are the product.
For political reasons. Thomas also suggested promoting links for making donations to organizations fighting the travel ban. This, of course, would be completely dishonest and unethical behavior, but Thomas's colleagues at Google seemed to approve of it strongly.
Oh, yeah, they
Product
got
manager
caught.
Rami Bana, for example, replied this way, quote, "We're absolutely in, Mackenzie, anything you need. We'll put together a list of orgs with Merrill and HL team." Another employee named Stacy Chen added that groups she thought Google should promote included the ACLU, the Immigration Defense Project, the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee, and the National
Having trouble
Immigration
reading the news, Tucker?
Law Center. All of those groups were at the time agitating against the president's immigration ban. Even at least one person on the chain seemed to realize how dangerous and out of the ordinary this conversation was. A Google employee called Clement Wolf commented that he was, quote, very much in favor as tempted.
Let's see.
Peter Schweitzer wrote Clinton Cash. He now has a fantastic new documentary called The Creepy Line about big tech, and he joins us tonight. Are you
So the reason I played this
Can
is
you guys still hear me?
yes.
Because I'm frozen on the
Turn your
screen.
camera on and off.
Yeah.
I've got to fix that. Hold on.
But yeah,
go ahead with the show.
The reason I ask is because is Google also implementing this into YouTube as well?
Oh yeah, totally. Of course. I think part of the reason people were so confident was because of just how blanketed the coverage was in one direction last election. But there's a huge section of the country that doesn't use Google and smartphones and everything like that. But in 20 years, it won't be that way.
True.
Like most people will be using these things and will be subject to this type of manipulation. It's something I believe very passionately that needs to be investigated. Although, when your option is, well, let's get the government involved, that doesn't feel like a great solution either.
It is weird though, because
what are you going to do?
We've never had a database like Google before where we get our information from, and when Google becomes the trusted database for all information, couldn't they manipulate the information to, in a way, rewrite history?
The victor always would rewrite history anyways, right? In wars,
Sure.
whatever side won, they're finding a way to make it up to the minute,
history
right?
isn't as well documented though as it is now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know, but what are you supposed to do? You can't boycott their products. Most people won't do that.
It's really difficult when it's like you realize that you look around you and it's like, okay, I have a computer, I have an Android smartphone. Both of these things. I mean, the phones, it's like back in the day, people could give away the printers because they made money selling the ink. Now these cell phones are just irrelevant. It's just a way to serve you ads.
Yeah.
And it's just everywhere. And it's really kind of frightening where, 10 elections from now, if this isn't under some sort of surveillance or control, people just have to have a general mistrust apparently for everything, and that's not a great way to live either.
I think 10 elections from now, the AI will be in control. Google won't even have control.
I think it's
over it
crazy
anymore.
enough that the way the president communicates with the American public is through tweeting now. I mean, because
that was inevitable. My problem with this whole situation is Google doesn't allow competition.
I get pissed
Every time a new little company starts up, they either buy it or they smash it to pieces.
That's a Microsoft tactic too, right? That's been business plan for tech since the beginning.
They'll hear you.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, then they did. I mean, they did that with Gab, basically. Not that Gab is a great product, but they won't even allow it under the Google Store or the Google App Store or whatever. Like that shit should be. That's a situation where I think you have a case from a government standpoint where you should be able to sue them for something, force
they
should have to
Gab is currently in lawsuit with Google, but it'll probably take years. Yeah.
So
they'll
and
never
Apple.
win. They'll just run out of money.
Jeremy, were you ever approached by Candid to be one of their influencers, or did you ever do ads for them or anything like that?
No. Mm-mm. I was not around in that era.
Okay.
But I knew exactly what that shit was from Jump Street.
Yeah, because people I associated with, well, even Derek, like he did Candid ads, some black guy. It like, just because of my loose associations with people who had ran Candid ads, now they consider me like basically I had ran Candid ads at one point.
You're part of the ultimate,
even though I never have
information network.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, if the numbers that were thrown around were real, if people were really getting 10 G's to do it, at the time I probably would have done
Me too. Me too. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't have endorsed it as strongly as they did, but you better damn well believe I'd be like, yo, here's an app. Use it at your own peril.
Well,
that's because you wouldn't have known what they were really about at the time you made the offer.
But also,
so it's hard to judge people who promoted it because they took the money, promoted an app, and then it turned out to be a shitbag fucking company.
But also, from what I've heard, the company was saying, "Hey, this guy, whatever his name is talking shit about Candid. What we need you to do is make an attack video against this guy."
Yeah, that I would never have done.
Yeah,
that I would. No.
I've had a lot of advertisers. Thank God I had I was about to do a CBD oil ad.
Yeah, shame on you for promoting a product that literally helps children from having seizures and everything.
Yeah, right. And
Bering got in trouble for that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he got banned. Romeo Millennial got strikes. Tim got strikes. But I see ads on YouTube for High Times.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
It's insane. But when you're a YouTuber, you see that kind of money. I've never seen that kind of money for an ad. If somebody came and was like, we want you to do, I probably wouldn't do like a Hillary Clinton commercial for $10,000, but you get it. There's a very few things I wouldn't just be like, hey, I expect you guys to do your own research. Here's a shit. Buy it, don't buy it. I don't care. But
I would have done an ad for Hillary Clinton.
I would have.
I don't think it would be one that she'd like.
Yeah,
I'd be like, Hillary Clinton.
Would you like a demon?
We
to run your
actually
country?
we actually partner with an advertising firm, and they had asked us back during the elections if we would run ads for either candidate, and we said we would. I would have done both equally.
Yeah. Well, they can buy ads in my videos. That's fine. Yeah.
You're talking about a personal endorsement, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that I would.
I'd endorse cocaine. I'd endorse human trafficking. I'd endorse whatever. Give me $10,000 and I'm there. I'd be like, oh, you want to be kids? Let's do it.
Yeah, there's very few for that kind of money. Once you get up into that kind of money, I just say, look, if you have a problem with it, sorry, I'm a capitalist first.
Here's the thing. We ran ads for The Daily Show with Trevor Noah last month, and I don't want to give exact numbers because I shouldn't.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But we were compensated very well for running these ads, and people, they just took it as us being like, you should watch Trevor Noah. It's like, no, I mean, either watch it or don't watch it.
If it's interesting to you, then that's why they paid us to show the ads. Because
for a 30-second ad.
They want this audience, right?
And all of
turned out the fucking lights.
Oh, sorry. I'm bringing I'm bringing Manny on, the guy who ate the magic card, in a second here.
Yeah, I think Bering for the most part has avoided his fans getting pissed. He fucking runs an ad on every video, virtual shield, CBD oil, whatever. If anybody that watched my channel had a problem with it, I'd just be like, well, sorry then. Are you going to donate me $10,000? No, then okay. If you don't like it, you see ads on my videos all the time. Why is it different when the creator takes money directly as opposed to selling ads on?
It's almost like
YouTube?
we're not allowed to make money doing this.
No, you're not allowed.
That's why we have a patron, so our Patreons can pay us all the money to be truthful and honest, and we don't have to take this blood money from Hillary Clinton.
Well, I'm banned off Patreon, so I'll take the blood money, please.
What?
Damn.
What the heck? I didn't know that. You're banned from Patreon?
Yeah, I got banned for outing pedophiles.
Dude, didn't you get banned from Twitch recently too, or like it was like a?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got it overturned, but yeah, I got banned for making fun of Twitch thoughts.
Yeah, we had a couple on our show once.
I'm very protective of Twitch girls. I don't even call them thoughts anymore. They're more like Twitch ideas.
Manny,
what do you? What about the girls that stand there naked with pasties on their boobs and paint them on Twitch?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about.
I mean, if the okay, there's one girl. Her name's Kay Pike, and she's actually good at painting herself, and she can make herself look like any crazy superhero. I'm cool with that.
Well,
I'm not saying the content shouldn't exist. That's what I'm just saying, is that what you want on Twitch? Which is primarily 13-year-old boys.
That's not what I personally watch.
I want them to have less censorship on Twitch. I wish I could go on Twitch and like just start whipping my fucking balls out.
Manny, turn on your camera so I can fix this shit.
Like, you could just go on like Pornhub and do that if you wanted.
Yeah,
but I definitely am one of these people that's like, if you don't like it, don't watch it kind of guys. But at the same time, I'm also an insult comedian and I make fun of people.
I also stopped doing Twitch because I was worried that they were going to get me for something just because of how crass I am at times. And I was like, I didn't want to be hit.
Yeah. You have the right opinions though for Twitch, pretty much, right?
I'm SJW. I'm social justice.
I'm not shitting on you. I'm just saying like you'd probably be okay.
Billy the Fridge.
I also make I saw it. I also make comments that are like outlandish and like fucked up just because I think it's funny. Like I'm something could happen easily where I say something as a joke and it's.
I have to pull
it's like,
this shit
there
out.
I go. I shouldn't have said that. So
they get you like, so I was banned for nothing I did on Twitch, right? It was for my YouTube video.
Okay. How long ago were you banned?
That shouldn't happen. This cross-platform bullshit is pissing me off.
It's so weird how Billy is universally liked because most of his friends are so universally hated. It's crazy. Like he's friends with Onision, he's friends with Martin Shkreli, he's friends with Keemstar, he's friends with
Keem's in public favor now. People love Keem
he is now, but he was hated a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
People forgot about that. Who else?
Keem just stuck around long enough, like he's harmless.
He's dodged so many bullets that I thought would have like been the nail in the coffin for him, and he came through with them. I've known him for like 10 years
cockroach.
now. Yeah, well, basically, he has survived many nuclear attacks. Like
the biggest ones are Martin Shkreli and Onision. Hey, Manny, are you in the call?
I hear him.
I'm on the way.
I don't see you. You're not in here at all.
I hear Ghost Manny somewhere.
I hear him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slain Hope with the 1822 on the double 911.
Oh, shit. Does that mean no?
He says 2 shots, Ben. Two
okay,
shots.
I'll do him.
Well, technically, it had to be 1824 because it's got to be more than 911.
Well, no.
These are
we
two
make
exact
money doing
911.
this.
He owes you
That
2 more
will be
cents.
2 shots,
I'll do it.
We've been doing the 911 mode as 911.
No, God damn it, no. Rules are rules. You leave exactly 2 pennies worth of.
No. I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Shot glass. Oh, you hear me? You better leave 2 cents worth of fucking liquor at the bottom of that shot glass.
Magog is a fucking stickler. I like it.
Magog is currently building a medieval village. Can I break kayfabe for a second, Magog?
Sure.
Magog is currently crowdfunding a medieval village in Arkansas.
Yes, I'm going to do a sitcom instead of doing all this crazy shit.
Can't you get like an up-to-date village in Arkansas for like the same price? It's pretty cheap out there.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't fit with my whole getup.
It's Matt Flagging Man Jarbo.
Oh, I like it. I'll tell you what, Magog, a friend of mine, is a huge fan of yours, and I was like, his name's also Jeremy, and yeah, I saw him at MythCon this weekend, and I've been looking for him in chat, and I just texted him, but he's out on a date. What a fucking faggot.
Yeah, right.
Chicks are for
Did he take her to the kitchen? Because other than that,
they went and saw the house with something in the walls or clocks in the walls or something. Is that
the
what it's
Jack
called?
Black movie? Yeah, the house with clocks in the walls.
Looks aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, I like Jack
Yeah.
Black, and I have no interest in seeing that.
so it looks like a Jack Black film.
Yeah, like he's really, he's super average. I thought he was fine in School Rock, but then he's basically made the same movie every year.
Wasn't he in Jumanji, the remake? I haven't
Jumanji
seen that
was
yet.
good,
He was,
though.
but I did not see it.
Jumanji was actually like really well done. The director has like a good history of movies. The Rock, if you like rock movies, this was one of the least formulaic rock movies of recent time. Like
Kevin Hart was in it too, right?
Kevin Hart, yeah. It was Jumanji was really good. Like I'm not even gonna front. Like it was better than I expected it to be, and everybody thought it was gonna be terrible. So
expected.
Yeah,
I was pissed that it was another remake so quick. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna go see it. It's just like another remake.
It's not even
so quick.
as much a remake as it is like going further into the universe, and I do think that like that universe has open space to work with.
Oh, it's got to, yeah.
And I thought it was funny how they had like like Jack Black. He was playing a fucking little 19-year-old girl, or 17-year-old girl. So like his character, where you see Jack Black playing Jack Black in every film, he has a little more space to work with within his comedy bubble, because he's now the 17-year-old girl, and it's like, okay, now it's a new version of Jack Black that we're not tired of yet. It all kind of just worked.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying, you need to put out some more Tenacious D records.
Yep, I still listen to the original.
Yep.
The original.
Wasn't that a show before it was a movie?
Well, no,
it
they
was
had
a show.
They had they were a band before they were a show, right? Like it was his little pet project. Him and Kyle
Yeah,
Gass
then they did
music.
like a show on HBO or something.
Yeah, they had like an
right?
6-episode show, and then they had the movie they were working on. I think they're actually doing another Tenacious D movie right now, so we could see an album coming out with it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't hate Jack Black, but a lot of what he does is very mediocre.
Easy, Magog. We get it. You hate the guy. Jeez.
God damn it, Jeremy, you're interrupting the great Magog, and I don't like it.
I think the great Magog doth protest too much. I think you're in love with Jack Black, and he hasn't requited your advances, so now you're hating on him.
All right, so
You're a big fan of the JackBlacked.com.
Black.
No.
Those
Is that a
would be
website too?
interesting porns to watch.
Jack
Blacked.
Oh, I don't know. It should be.
I always think back to the Jackal when Jack Black got his arm blown off
by Bruce Willis.
Yeah, got his whole fuck. Yeah.
Jack Black was in Neverending Story 3.
He was also in Airborne.
Airborne.
Airborne
was such a
That
good
early
movie.
No,
It was
it's
such
not.
a good movie.
No,
it was
no,
so good.
No,
dude.
no,
dude.
no.
You gotta respect Airborne.
I
gotta
threw
respect
something at him
Airborne.
legitimately just now.
You gotta respect Airborne.
Airborne was like a 90s, like Airborne was Saved by the Bell made into a movie with rollerblading.
What you
in
don't
it.
because you don't respect Snake, you don't respect young Seth Green, and young Augie. You probably identify with shit stained plane, chocolate stained.
Oh, holy
plane.
shit. Jeff Holiday in the chat. Doc's Holiday.
How come you didn't come to MythCon, JeffHoliday.com?
Jeff Holiday's mad at your Matt Kilimanjaro.
Oh,
he doesn't like
he's
your
mad at Matt.
He doesn't like your Matt Kilimanjaro logo. He thinks it's
I
been
think he
overdone.
thinks it's funny.
He thinks it's been overdone. He's calling you boring and calling you
Could you talk about
a
how
freakish little
idiot
bitch.
Onajin tried building a porch and tore up part of a wildlife sanctuary and stacked up like 50 federal WL violations?
Yeah, I talked to him about it this weekend. He's probably going to go to court over it.
Who? What?
Oh, Onision.
Who, Matt Jarbo?
No. Matt Jarbo won't see a day in court.
I'm so confused.
Onision was doing some yard work, and he's
So that's what Jeff was talking about.
The Matt Kilimanjaro image here. He thinks it's boring.
I think it's funny.
You think it's funny?
I think it's funny on multiple levels because mountains have a lot of boulders.
You'd have to borrow your dad's truck, though.
Look, Matt apologized. I think it's time that we completely forgive him and let him go about his flagging
fucked
again.
up that I get shit from both sides.
Why?
I say, oh, Matt did something stupid and I laughed at him and made fun of him, but also I get, oh, you defended Matt to the 1% degree.
That's what you get for being a centrist.
I know, it's garbage.
You're a cuck and a Nazi.
Yeah, I don't think flagging people on YouTube is an irredeemable offense. I've been flagged on YouTube and it has literally affected my life in horrible ways. So me saying that says a lot.
Is Joy Sparkle here? What's up, boo? What's up, boo?
She's always yelling. That's all I know about her.
I don't know a goddamn thing about her.
She loves Billy and hates the rest of us.
Everybody else is scum but me.
Well, yeah, that sums it up. Thanks, Wikipedia.
All right, we'll move on. It's Roosh V.
We are now entering the crazy people zone.
Are you allowed to use this song, or are you going to get flagged again?
No, this
is
is
your channel back.
This is a generic elevator music version of the song, so we don't get flagged.
Okay.
We got flagged twice. And one was from CBS because we played 50 seconds of a Seventh Heaven episode over a year ago in a private Patreon stream.
And it was fine for 11 months.
And then the other one was WWE. We played D-Generation X theme music at one point.
That's what we get, man, for trying to meme.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yep. But you guys, when are you getting it back?
About a month from now. I contacted, if you have a channel over 100,000 viewers, you can get a live or subscribers, you can get a live chat with YouTube. And I was like, I'm just writing to you to ask the exact date that we'll get our streaming back, and they couldn't give it to me. They were like 90 days.
You have to go back, and even when the strike was removed from my account, like I had that, I still had to email them like several times to actually get live streaming re-enabled.
Here's the
Have you guys been taking these streams off your underground channel and re-uploading them? Because the problem with a strike like this is for a live stream channel, being not able to live stream for 3 months can really hurt you.
Here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing. We don't even have a strike. Like, we literally don't have a strike.
Yep.
We had a video that had a content ID match, and the owner of that video decided to block it worldwide.
Corpse Midget looks like Bela Lugosi's version of Austin Powers Mini-Me.
And that's their new way of fighting these channels that stream like TV shit all day.
Right.
Oh yeah. You know what's funny? I had I was testing a live stream channel before I was going to Gen Con, ironically, and I put my phone down. I was streaming from my phone, and I kind of forgot it was still live streaming to like 0 people. I was just touching the setup, and then we were watching a movie, and I got a copyright strike email coming up. What the fuck? And it just picked up the audio from the TV on the other side of the room.
That's such bullshit. Okay, when you post a stream link, like you're going to do a stream in a half hour or whatever, do you get preemptively demonetized? Because we do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do, at least. I don't know about Jeremy, but yeah, I do. SideQuest gets demonetized the moment I put it up on the watch link. It's like 6 hours before showtime, and it'll get demonetized.
I'm real. I don't do it for the money. I do it for
whatever.
I do it for the cam whores.
Get out of here.
We're just talking about the algorithm. I mean, I don't make money off of the ads anyway.
Yeah.
But
Billy the commie.
Billy, yeah.
Billy the Commie.
The People's Republic of William the Fridge.
Dude, I get all the Twitch thoughts. Deal with it. Who needs money?
That's where all your money goes.
On your show, so I don't give a shit.
I do need money to pay for all my Twitch thoughts. That's why I'm opening up a Patreon right now. Guys, please give me all your hard-earned money so I can put it in the pocket of beautiful young women.
So what
other people's Patreons?
Like, I wouldn't watch Twitch thought channels, but I don't have a problem with them existing. Jeremy, what's your actual like issue with them existing?
I don't have any. No, that's not my position. Is I have no problem with their content existing. I have a problem with it being on Twitch, which is like a, if they want to come out and say we're not a, we're a YouTube competitor, okay, fine. But I haven't seen any branding outside of it's a gaming website, and it feels predatory to me. They know the audience there, they know where the line is, and there's nothing legally wrong with it. Just feels slimy. That's okay. That's where I'm at.
I actually
Twitch.
I can't talk about it too much, but yesterday I did a live interview with some Twitch people asking me a lot of questions about what I do on Twitch and the other websites I interact with Twitch. They even paid me for it a little bit.
Ben was like texting me privately, asking me all the answers to the SJW questions they asked him. He's like, "What do I say? What do I say here?"
The weird thing is that they were all local too, because Amazon is headquartered here in Seattle too. So, but yeah, they were cool and everything. But they asked a lot of questions about how streamers monetize their Twitch stream using third-party websites.
Yeah, they're trying to get into the business probably.
Honestly, it almost sounds like Twitch wants to replace Patreon, Discord,
Streamlabs.
Like Streamlabs, they want it.
Streamlabs, yeah.
Oh, Streamlabs is a big one.
Well, that explains your extreme. It explains your extreme weight loss then, now, doesn't it? Because all communists don't have food.
Can you tell us about how Underhaven used a backhoe and contaminated the wildlife sanctuary? With oil and gasoline and the risk of mudslides now, Cat.
Look, I'll tell you all about it. He was doing some fucking work in his yard. It just happened to be a wildlife sanctuary. Deal with it.
He's stupid as fuck.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that
He killed off an entire species of slug that doesn't exist anymore. Deal with it.
Here's the DP channel that can't stream live. No guideline strikes, no copyright issues, live streaming disabled. There you go.
And you've talked to creator support.
Yes.
And they're just like, usually I have to email them like 100 times before I get any. But
I've shared screenshots of these epic. I even had one being like, "Oh no, you're wrong. You're twisting the truth." I had one of them literally tell me I was twisting the truth, and then I uploaded that, and then like 4 hours later, I got an email from someone else apologizing for that shit. But they still haven't.
Yeah, because I would.
Where's Manny?
This looks like
we want Manny.
Where's Manny?
when my channel got flagged down, like with those spammy false flags where they're like misleading tags or whatever, they ended up taking my whole channel down briefly. They restored it, but then I couldn't live stream either, even though I had no strikes. And it took a million emails. Sounds like you're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's like, whatever, it's fixed. I'm like, well, what was it? I'm like, oh, okay. Same thing happened to Medicare. He had one bad strike. They ended up removing both of them, even though they shouldn't have rightfully removed the first one. So they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, I mean, Medicare brings in a lot of super chat dollars to them too.
Yeah.
I got striked twice on the same video, and they both got overturned. But I had to go through the trusted flagger guy to get them both overturned. Couldn't do it on my own.
I think Medicare should set up Streamlabs instead to keep all the money, because his Sargon stream, whether I agree with what he said or not, was huge, and he made like thousands of dollars, but 30% of that went to YouTube. So
yeah, well, no matter as creators too, like I could tell you, and I mean, people want to use super chat. I don't care how often I'm like. I had somebody, bless their heart, super chat me like $2,000 one night. Two 500s or something. And then I was like, dude, I'm so fucking thankful. But, you just, and the bigger amounts, YouTube takes 40%. So I was like, you just paid YouTube like $400.
It's really 40%. How big is 40%? Like, at what point do they break 40% in?
Over 100, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mr.
I didn't
Naughty
even know
Priest
that.
gave YouTube so much money.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, it's hard to get people to click that damn Streamlabs link.
They don't want to use it. Yeah, because
there's just such an ease of use with having that little money button right there on the chat. You know, I don't know what it is.
I need to make content specifically for people who use Streamlabs. Like, just pander to them.
But you got to be on Twitch then.
I've even had YouTube, fellow YouTube creators tell me that they turned off Super Chat, hoping that more people would just click the Streamlabs link. There isn't even an option anymore.
You might as well
and they
collect
make less
that.
money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
that's a bad decision.
We tried that with that show I have with Bering and Dank. I was like, well, let's just we can live stream, and nobody used it. And I was like, well, I got to pay these guys to be on the show, like, so we got to go and we got to use super chats. That's why we stream on my channel now, because I'm like, because our main channel is not monetized.
So you were doing a show with Bering and Count Dankula?
Yeah,
that's
Friday
pretty
nights.
cool. Wow, yeah, I've never seen that before. Like, my first conversation with Bering is like, Bering is a pretty awesome musician. Like, yeah. Like, me and him are into like basically the exact same kind of
And I
music.
didn't know this, but Dankula's actually a really good dog trainer.
Yeah, he's one of the best. Yeah.
I want him to train my little dogs too. Anyway, let's
he's the Nazi pug whisperer.
The Nazi whisperer.
Let's get into crazy people. Here we go.
So let me teach you all.
So this is the dick cam.
A valuable lesson. There are winners and losers, obviously. Now, the Catholics and the Christians are always going to want to brainwash the population that they appear to be the losers, but they really are just geniuses, and they, of course, don't lie. Well, the truth is, my other wife, Lucifer, has
Your
been
other one? You have more than one?
Washing all of the gay priesthood, including David Hargrove, that it might be a good idea to go in that black hole that my son
Is this a troll?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Steve.
Do both his wives live in Canada?
Yeah. That's what I say about.
Is he?
Not
sure
as,
if he's drunk
not as
or-
drunk as me.
Or he's
The son named
got the
Steve.
tism.
He created for Bell Labs Technology a black hole right next to planet Earth. And that means if my other wife, Callie, does blow up planet Earth,
okay,
he will go in the black hole, as well as all of you who don't commit suicide.
This is
who are
Neil
not of
deGrasse
my religion.
Tyson.
Because if you don't commit suicide and go and escape planet Earth with a laser beam, then what will happen is
I feel
you're
troll.
just
This is
floating
bath
in-
salts.
I feel trolled.
Yeah. I don't think he's
This is a
trolling.
Poe.
Why
I
is
think
he
he's
naked?
crazy.
You know what?
He's
I went to his
crazy.
channel. He's naked like this in every
In every
fucking
video.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't own a
and
shirt.
the
He's
magnetic
crazy.
pole of that black hole will drag
Probably
all
oils himself up
of your
in lard so that when the
inside of it, along
the
with
nurses
David
in
Hargrove
the
and
asylum he's
all
in
the
come to
gay-
tackle him, he can
the gay
ease his way out
pedophiles
quicker.
and pedophile woman.
Yeah.
And that's how
Yeah,
it
I'm
went.
more triggered that he's holding the phone vertically than anything.
Zeronian entity. I'm glad I got kicked out of YouTube. Did you get kicked out of YouTube trying to do your charity stream, or was that somewhere else? Because I remember you were telling me, the other day I saw you post that you said you were doing your charity stream, and I was going to go there and give some money, but I was looking for you on YouTube, and I found that all your shit was like blocked. But all you said you did was like Mega Man run-throughs, so I don't know if that was enough to get you blocked. Maybe I heard you wrong. I'm just addressing
This guy isn't crazy. All right, this is how smart he is. He knew nobody would believe him if he said he had 2 wives in Canada. So now he says he has 2 wives with the ability to blow up Earth. Because nobody would lie that far, right? He's got to be telling the truth.
Thank you, Spirit Flame, with your Canadian $5, which equals $4.63 American.
Your Canadian money. It spends like American money, just not as far.
I'm sure this is one of Jeremy's favorite YouTubers.
What do they call Canadian?
White
Trudeau's?
King
It's
Jesus.
Trudeau's, right?
I'm here today because my people, my beautiful black people, are saying rest in peace and crying because John McCain died. What white Jesus? We should be praying and crying for.
You know what's crazy? He calls all black people Africans, which is hilarious because most of them have never been to Africa. And I
did a video on this guy a long time ago. This Black Hitler.
I was when I went to university.
Oh,
I
is
was
that who it is? I've never seen him before.
This is Ghazi, yeah. And he wants reparations and all kinds of retarded shit. But it's hilarious because,
nice.
like, when I was in undergrad, I went to school with a bunch of Nigerians, and they were like, you know who I don't like? African Americans. They believe everything should be handed to them.
Chris Tucker's really let himself go.
Yeah.
John McCain? Is this the same colonizer John McCain that bombed and napalmed the Vietnamese people, bombed their nurseries, schools, hospitals, factories, apartments, and other numerous civilian targets, killing hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of innocent Vietnamese children?
Millions? I don't even think they're, I mean, back then, what?
Yeah, even if there were millions of Vietnamese children, there's no way all of them were innocent, okay? Some of those kids had blood on their hands.
Bombs that poisoned the water with napalm and Agent Orange, that there's birth defects even today in Vietnam because of those bombings that he led? Is this the same colonizer, toilet seat complexion John McCain that didn't just carry out such horrendous orders, but he voiced...
I love how this guy ignores that he would be put to death in some African countries because of how flamingly gay he is.
Support
and
for
most of the Middle East.
them, specifically during the 1999 war against Yugoslavia. Is this the same Mayo Saxon John McCain for close to 4 decades?
Bad jump cut.
He stood at the Senate and cheered on continuous streams of imperialist colonial wars: Grenada, Somalia, Panama, Iraq, Bosnia, Kosovo, Afghanistan, Libya.
It's called Kosovo.
Syria, just to name a few. Is this the same?
He's reading. He's pretending he knows this off the top of his head,
Right.
but I think he's reading something.
And by the way, I agree.
Yeah.
Kosovo is
Here's some
Serbia.
money.
Kosovo?
Can keep their hands off of it.
Keep your grubby hands
My
off
side
our
of the political argument for all my Slavic brothers out there is Kosovo is Serbia.
Cave Tom McCain that has stood against not one of the oil and natural resource looting wars, killing civilians and troops just for the almighty dollar. Is this the same colonizer McCain that voted 6 times against the sanctions against apartheid South Africa?
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. But the motherfucker.
I'm not a fan of John McCain, just for the record. You know.
Sure. Me neither. But he did some things in his life that were totally selfless. Like his father was the commander of the armed forces in Vietnam, and his plane was shot down, and he was captured, and he spent 2.5 years in a Vietnamese prison camp. And they were like, okay, well, we know who your dad is,
I can't believe Black Hitler is caring about another race other than his own.
They were like, we know who your dad is. We'll let you go in exchange for these other people. And he said, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here until all these other guys get out. And he ended up staying there for 2.5 more years. That is fucking selfless shit. I know, he had a bias. That's why I was against him being president. I'm like, this dude was, he has to have psychological damage from being kept in this prison,
Well, he never met a war he didn't like.
True.
That was my biggest problem with him.
He was very against torture, though. He was very against torture.
Yeah. I'd agree with him on that, Torture doesn't even work anyway.
No, if someone's torturing me, if someone's torturing me, I'll confess to anything.
Yeah, you get coerced into saying whatever they want you to say, right?
Right.
It's
whatever makes the pain stop.
Yeah, it's funny because Jesse Ventura was always saying, "Let me waterboard Sean Hannity. I'll have him confessing to the Sharon Tate murders." So
yeah, right. Well, did you see where Crowder did it? He let somebody waterboard him, and he lasted that was it.
Because you feel like you're dying. And you would die if they do it to you long enough, you'll die. And it's your brain telling you are suffocating, you are drowning. So all these guys that were talking mad shit about these prisoners of war, and they're like, oh, they just pour water on their face. None of them would last more than a minute.
I just like what Donald Trump said about John McCain. I prefer those who didn't get caught.
That's, I'll tell you what, that is unbelievably disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
That was savage.
It's dumb as fuck, though, because you know how many, like, good soldiers got captured?
Or how many good soldiers just have PTSD and stuff, and he's kind of talked down on that as well. It's like, it's rough.
You get captured. It doesn't have anything to do with how good of a soldier you were.
Somebody's saying McCain died of ligma. Is there any proof to that?
He had brain cancer.
Him and Boogie, I think. Boogie, I actually just heard Boogie died today, too.
Boogie dies every week.
I remember the first time I saw that meme before I knew it was a meme. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh God, no. And then I was like, oh, it's a fucking meme.
I like quick check Twitter. I was like, okay.
I don't like particularly, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like videos featuring angry black women. So remove it from my eyes.
You should see my Pornhub recommendations. Just a bunch of fucking Serena Williams lookalike stepping on dude's balls.
Isn't it?
I don't know what it is, but they like.
What the fuck is that?
You don't even go to porn anymore because it's just all family incest videos.
What is?
But you know they're not.
I don't even know. I don't even know what Mercedes
I gave up on porn. I went
Paige
back to
are going to
paper.
talk about.
I get
Remember that time that we had sex?
It's just all the incest porn.
Billy, should we have sex so we can identify with Paige?
I don't think I can have sex, dude. I'm morbidly obese. It doesn't work like that.
We were
Dude,
trapped.
that triggered the fuck out of Jeremy. He was like, seriously, Magog.
I don't
That is a serious thing.
I was like, why is everything brother and sister fucking now? What is this?
Well, it's like the algorithm, right? It's the clickbait. It's the master clickbait, the masturbate.
Yeah,
That's what people want, and they're never actually brother and sister, right? So I don't mind watching it. I don't mind watching it.
No, it's definitely like acting.
I don't want to ever make that rationalization before I masturbate to something. You know what? They're probably really not related. And then jerk off.
Let's see if we can get Manny in here. I promised him he could be on the show. I don't know. He's in Miami now. He used to live in Seattle where the internet is good, and now he moved to Miami where the cretins live. Manny, turn on your fucking
Are you in the middle of a tsunami right now?
What is going on now, Manny? I'm disappointed in you.
Internet connection.
Oh, dude, this is terrible. This is
bad.
terrible. Yeah, I can kind of hear you. I'm very disappointed.
Are you surviving a hurricane?
In a stairwell selling drugs.
Manuel es no bueno. Manuel is.
Hello.
Hey, Manny.
Oh God. Okay. Sorry, Manny. You can't be on the show tonight, dude. I'm sorry.
That's sad because I know Manny really wanted to talk
No.
He really
good.
wanted to talk about Ghazi here. Manny had a lot to say about Ghazi and John McCain. It's too bad.
Manuel.
He was going to come on and Me Too you in front of 700 people about making him eat that magic card.
And then Billy made me put the magic card in my mouth. And
It's funny because anything we ask him, we're like, Manny, did you do this? He's like, yes.
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 No.
Is this the same white?
Manny, will you eat a magic card? Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean,
he reminds me this. I don't know anything about him, but the lore of him reminds me of a guy that comes on the comic streams all the time named Cecil. Like
I'm going to tell you,
those two might get along.
After you finish what you want to say, I'm going to tell you something about him that'll scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's a TSA agent.
Cecil?
No, Manny. Manny is.
Manny. Oh, okay.
Cecil might be too. That might just be a TSA agent.
And
quality.
I've always hoped that when I'm walking through the naked machine, he'll just be like, okay, go ahead. But
you think Manny's seen our junk when we go through the airport? And he just hides
no. He's not
knows?
there.
Okay.
Nationalist McCain that supported violent, covert military actions against the freedom movement of South Africa. White Jesus? Really, white Jesus?
Corbin Dallas, Corbin Dallas, Corbin Dallas.
Jesus, is this the same
This
McCain
guy, I want
that
this guy to go to South Africa for a week. See how he
Yeah,
likes
I
it.
know. And he refers to all black people as Africans, and there's so many people I've known that are black that would never agree with this dude. That would think,
well, yeah, he's a meme.
Yeah. Like I've known so many black people that don't want to have anything to do with this train of thought. They want to get by on their merits. They want to get by. They don't want reparations. They don't want to be treated differently.
Look, I would like reparations.
It's so grating.
Right. That's. I mean, I can honestly tell you that 100%. Now, I don't live in the inner city, but I have. You know, every black person I've ever talked to is not this kind of a meme. They just they're like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like
that's the thing. No, and you don't have to live outside of the inner city to see it. It's true.
Right.
Most black people don't want a handout. They don't want to be treated differently.
Right.
Oh, Manny, what is this? Turn your phone sideways.
Manny's
Where are you? And why are you wearing a suit?
Manny, are you at a funeral?
It's not.
No. Are you streaming live from a funeral?
Yeah, what is going on?
No.
You're damn.
Are you at your own wedding? You look very dapper.
I'm giving up Magog's window to you.
Why did you make him turn it sideways? You look better the other way.
I know. Go back. Go back.
It's all.
Didn't autocorrect.
So,
yeah, there we go.
So, Manny, why are you dressed so fancy right now?
I'm at a wedding.
Okay.
Oh, you gonna crush some ass?
That's why.
Yes.
That's why. Okay.
Yes.
So, if
a weekday wedding,
if you had to play your magic deck against the quartering, what would you bring up against him?
Probably Commander.
Oh.
All right, the degenerate format. Okay.
But I have this one red deck that's just, you have all that stuff. Well, now we're going to put it in a big old pile and then dish it out.
Manny,
Nice. Yeah.
why did you pick?
It's a good format.
Why did you pick your night to be on the show when you're at a wedding, homie?
And he freezes out. This is the story of Manny.
I'm sorry, Manny. I have to kick you from the group. I'm sorry.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. You're getting kicked, homie.
Damn.
All right. Oh, here's a video. Why all the Mario Tennis Aces characters are queer.
Hey everybody, so today we're doing something a little bit different. I have my Switch here. It is connected to the TV.
Who's this hottie?
And we're gonna.
Are you fucking serious?
What?
This is Riley Dennis. This is a
She's
dude.
one of
Is she a
one
porn
of the
star?
worst.
It's a dude.
Be playing.
Look like
We're
it to
not
me.
playing. We're gonna be going through.
Billy's
You'll know
one,
when she
Billy's
pulls her
one of
dick
those. Yeah. Billy's one of those dudes that will ignore the dick.
I'm an SJW. I'll eat around the anchovy if the salad looks good.
Through Mario Tennis.
Little
and
fuck a trap.
talking about how queer all of the characters are. Even if you've never played Mario Tennis, I promise that this will have some value to it. Is it value?
No,
Hopefully
it
it'll be kind
won't.
of entertaining. I don't know.
Zero
I just
value.
have been playing Mario Tennis a lot, and I feel like the characters are really queer, so I need to talk about it. Look, obviously, these are headcanons. We're just having fun. There's no need to take any of this
Let me tell you why the Mario Tennis characters are all queer. It's because tennis is gay. End of story.
I will say Riley has gotten increasingly more feminine as the years have gone by.
More
though.
feminine?
Well, she's on HRT.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, there's hormonal because Riley was a dude back in the day.
I don't know. I never followed Riley Dennis, so I don't
Okay.
really know.
Riley was like a man making video, and Riley looks like a girl now. So
It all comes down to the voice for me. That and the Adam's apple. If I can get around the voice and the Adam's apple, it's
and
okay.
Coulter.
What about the cock?
I don't. The cock doesn't bother me. That's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's a mountain of cock as long as the woman is convincing.
This stuff is like canonical in Mario Tennis, but I thought it would be fun to talk about it. All right, so this is the character selection screen. Obviously, Mario is first, and I'm just going to start out here by saying that Mario is a straight trans boy. I just really get that vibe from him. Like, you know, he's just
What?
living his best life. He's like stealth.
He's just living his best life.
So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's nothing about Mario that indicates that he was born a woman.
Doesn't he look like a straight trans boy to you?
No, he's playing fucking tennis.
But this is how he's a straight trans boy.
Nintendo stuff, and like Nintendo finds a little bit more embarrassing
because
but, like,
he's
he
short.
Is proud of it. He's just his career kind of hinges on him not being able to talk about it that much. But
I like how she starts out with like the most iconic video game character. Yeah, this person's totally tranny. What?
He's a proud trans
But you
man.
can tell he's a trans man because he's short and he still gets hot chicks. No short men get hot chicks unless they're trans.
Peach. Mario's
Well, Peach is gonna be revealed as a tranny in this.
He's doing well, and I'm just so proud of
hate
him.
you.
All right, next we have Luigi, and I mean, oh, look at that sway.
What flavor?
I mean, like, Mario's
what flavor
got a little
gay
bit
is
of sway.
Luigi?
I like how Riley gets to call people womanly, like overly feminine. Oh, you see that gay sway Luigi has?
That's because
but if I
Riley's
say that,
punching up.
I'm a fucking like.
Ben, it's okay to punch up.
But
You can punch up all day.
Luigi, I think,
punching
is
down
a
that's
cis
the
gay
problem.
boy. And hear me out here. I think that's why Luigi is taller than Mario, because, like, obviously, in general, like, a
Luigi is taller than Mario because they wanted to make a different character from Mario. And how else do you make him different? You make him
He
taller,
wasn't always
you make him
taller.
thinner.
He wasn't always taller.
Of course, not always.
You know, I'll give Riley this credit. In an era where she's like post a joke on Twitter, like she really took a lot of response videos in the ass when she was first on YouTube.
Well, not only
but
that,
at least I'll give her this where she like let in with like old Riley would have been presenting this as fact, and like new Riley's like, well, this is just a meme. But
okay,
it's still pretty cringy.
But I've noticed like the physical changes of Riley. Like if I didn't know who Riley was now and I watch these videos, I would think it's a girl. Like I watch old Riley videos, it was like
yeah, maybe the shoulders are a little.
It's like I'm looking at the Aryan version of those aliens from Avatar.
I'm just waiting for her opinion to be right.
Mad people tend
so
to
far,
be
she's
taller.
so
And
off.
so even though Luigi and Mario are brothers, like Luigi grew taller first and Mario grew shorter before transitioning, and so they kind of stopped.
You know, I've noticed a lot of YouTubers, like, I'm not talking about Riley. Like, Riley's been this way for whatever length of time. But I noticed, like, there's a lot of YouTubers where, like, they end up revealing that they're gay. And then every fucking video after that is about how they're gay.
Because gay is...
Yeah, it's hip. It's hip to be gay.
Yeah,
The
but that's,
algorithm loves
what
the gay.
but it ends up being their only message. I was
Right.
like, look what happened to Blair White. Oh, I'm a
Oh,
trans
God.
Republican girl, and then that was like the only thing she could ever talk about, and she became boring.
Did you guys know Dave
like,
Rubin is gay?
Yeah.
Dave Rubin is gay.
Yeah.
No, he says it every
Different
fucking
heights.
time.
So that is my rationale.
yeah,
But
sorry.
I think
Yeah,
Luigi is just like such a supportive, kind brother, you
thing,
know.
yeah.
And he was just like he was very there for Mario during his transition, and it really helped him learn about.
You're
like,
making all
queerness,
this
and that's
shit
what
up
he
so
began-
This is in the Let's Play book.
No.
When you play the game, it's inside the game, the insert. It's like Luigi is the... I don't know what you say Luigi was. I didn't even pick that up. Mario was trans...
Except that he
Yeah,
was
Mario
more-
was
because he
trans,
wasn't
Luigi.
out before Mario. And you know what? These two queer brothers are just doing great.
They're
I feel
just
like that's a
queer
phrase I'm gonna be
bros.
saying a lot.
You're
They're super
projecting,
queer
bros.
She's projecting so hard.
Well, that's what everybody does with their favorite
Or
forms
sure,
of
you're doing
media,
great.
right?
I'm so proud of you.
I try
Next
and
up,
make
we got
Mario out to be
and
fatter than
I
he
think
is.
from Wario is that he's just like he's queer. Like that's the label he really likes because he's.
These are all shit takes, by the way, Riley. It's
They're all the same
queer.
take.
They're all queer because they're queer, and I just look at them. I'm like, I know they're queer.
Come on, give us some depth here.
Literally looks like Lady Gaga after a really long Friday night.
Mario has to be queer because he's short.
Not huge on more specific labels, so he just really likes the umbrella term. So he kind of uses he and him pronouns. Sometimes they or them. He's got
Wario, you know, he's in and out of the he or him, they or them. He changes. He's he or him or they or them fluid. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
Total queer.
Not Luigi level sway, but he's got a little sway. And at the end of the day, he's a very valued member of the community, just like everyone else. Okay, obviously, we had to get to Waluigi. I'm excited.
Because Waluigi is Riley Dennis with a mustache.
Yeah, they look exactly the same. Yeah,
we had to get to Waluigi.
Definitely Riley trying to do comedy. I mean, I get what's happening here. This is not a serious video.
This is
at
just
the same time, God, it's cringy.
This is Riley if she never transitioned. That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Excited to talk about him because just look at this bi icon. Just pure, just
the bi
peak bisexual right here is Waluigi. I mean, look at his entrance. His entrance.
Redo this video for her, Fridge.
Yeah.
Just redo this video, but do it right.
I think I could convince you that Waluigi was more queer than Riley can. Like, I think I got it in me. Like, now this guy's queer because look at that nose. It's basically a dog's dick. What are you gonna do with that nose but shove it up a man's ass? You can't help it, right?
Where he like comes in with a rose in his mouth and just his final smash. Like it's all so good. Also in Mario Tennis.
Oh, they got the picture with the rose in his mouth. That was queer. That's what she should have said.
Gay.
She'd be like, "Oh, look, he's got a flower in his mouth. That's queer."
I'm not
that
sure
was
they're
gayer
called
than
final.
a San Francisco truck stop glory hole.
I was in San Francisco. I didn't go to the gay district. It was more like poor than gay to me. I felt
Do
bad.
you see a lot of poop on the street?
Oh, a ton. I saw someone mid shit.
You're in the Castro district.
Yeah, I didn't go to Castro. I was in like Mission Street. And I was just looking around. I guess Twitter was right around the corner. I wanted to go to Twitter, but I was too lazy. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to watch this homeless person dance to a motorcycle blasting Cardi B. And that was my San Francisco club night.
Manny, I'm trying. I love the patrons so much. I'm calling you one more time. But if we can't make it work, I mean...
Like, we want you here,
No,
Manny.
I'm sorry, Manny, you're done.
We want you here, Manny. But let's look at what
Sorry.
Riley Dennis has to say about the next tennis player, because
Smashes.
obviously
I forget what they're
it's
called.
going to
But I'm
get
gonna
better.
call them final smashes. I think that terminology is from Smash Bros. But anyways, Waluigi just complete
So
bi
you don't
icon,
even play the
just
game.
inarguable.
Yeah.
I'm also going to say that he's cisgender.
Same thing with Anita.
But because of
This
the
is the
struggles he's
TVC
gone through and, like, all the
Mario, but
biphobia
instead
and
of
stuff, he's
religion,
well-
it's queer.
When I saw Anita playing this, it was almost like Skirmish. It was almost like the old TSR Hobbies Incorporated like version of Skirmish that Anita was playing. And I wanted to like jump in on that, but I didn't want to like creep her out and be like, "Oh, there's a weird creep."
You are
You
a
know?
weird creep, right?
Yeah, I am.
Like,
I am. So she would have seen right through me originally.
If Anita can say anything, it's that she's right about people like you.
Yeah, I know.
She might be wrong about guys like me, but people like you,
You know,
she's dead
honestly, like Jeremy, how do you feel about Wizards taking over D&D? Like, so I'm like I told you, I'm 27. I felt
37.
like, yeah,
37.
37.
Yeah,
Sorry,
easy, buddy.
I've been drinking. 37.
Does that shit make you reverse age? I need to drink
It does. It does. Take a sip. But yeah, like with tabletop gaming, like I was really afraid of Wizards, like the same way I feel about Disney, like taking up everything.
Well, like when Wizards got bought by Hasbro, it was like when Disney bought Marvel.
Did Wizards get bought by Hasbro?
Yeah, Wizards was
Wizards got bought by Hasbro, and
my
I thought that was a worse revelation because I actually like could physically see the degradation in quality, like in the books for D&D and the card stock quality. Like they started making like real corporate decisions.
See, the thing that the thing that like really hit me was I was an avid reader of the Dragonlance Chronicles. And I was like really disturbed because that was a whole universe in the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Yeah.
It was that and Forgotten Realms. There was Kryn and Forgotten Realms. Those were like the two main D&D universes at the time.
Well, what I can say is Wizards hasn't done anything right except Magic the Gathering, and they've been fucking that up for 5 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't think they have a great... You know, I've talked to a lot of people that are more like 3rd edition. You know, D&D died after 3rd edition. We don't like this new Jack stuff. But in terms of overall, I think Hasbro is more damaging.
I was even weird for the D20 system. Like, people had to, like, indoctrinate me into that.
Are you talking about Roll20?
Yeah,
Roll
yeah.
20.
So I know you guys are speaking English.
Nah, dude, we're speaking.
I mean, like, you used to have a bag full
I
of
got
dice. And they like, after D&D got purchased by Wizards, they introduced a D20 system where it was, like, all based on, like, a 20-sided die.
Oh, that's yeah. Right.
I like how Magog can't get in on this conversation, but he's dressed like a dungeon master.
I know.
I get it all the time. People are like, "Oh, how many years did you play D&D?" I've never once played D&D in my entire life.
He lives D&D.
Yeah, it's your life.
Why would I want to play a game about my world?
I also
It's a horrible
got,
fucking place.
I'll admit it, I got wrapped up in White Wolf with Vampire the Masquerade, and
I played that too.
Oh, did
Yeah,
you?
I played that.
So
Yeah.
That was the only tabletop I ever played. Was
But
Demon.
I liked how it fit together because there was chameleon or changeling, there was a werewolf, so it was several separate games that could, like, combine, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. I played the RPG, and I played they had a card game out for a while too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't play the games. I live it. It's my job.
Yeah.
What do you think I do? When
I
the
even
cameras
had
are on?
I even had
I go to a cubicle and do a normal job.
I even had a game master at a con accept my vampire character in a White Wolf campaign.
Oh?
Nice.
Yeah, which was kind of cool.
I just play Magic the Gathering cards because I'm in transition.
I felt Magic the Gathering was low energy.
Whatever, dude.
After honestly, like, you know, being born in 81, like my cousins got me into D&D, and they were, like, born in, like, 78, 77.
It's because you're old, dude. I'm young and hip. I play Magic cards.
Like I felt a card game with these rigid rules was kind of a deterrent from the real, like,
the spirit of the gaming.
Yeah, because it was.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay,
you
well,
can't,
thank
like,
you.
do whatever you want. I've been playing Magic since '94.
Me too.
So I mean, I've been around a long time, and, like, there is freedom in deck building and in like how you theme your deck and the way you play your game, but it's not the same as literally doing whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You know.
I played Battleship once.
So, like, I would go to
Battletoads.
these tabletop gaming cons, and I saw, like, the more and more Magic tables building. I'm like, fuck this.
It's because Magic's a better game. You can change. Yeah, you can change it up all the fucking.
It's an easier game.
It's not
an
easier. It's better.
It takes less thought.
It takes tons of
No,
thought.
it takes less, like, critical thinking.
Oh, bullshit.
I'm sorry.
This is a dangerous conversation. Where I'm going to sit back and let you guys.
Oh,
hash it out.
no.
I'm not going to argue with drunk Ben.
It's not just that I'm drunk, though. I'm being honest, though.
You just couldn't grasp Magic the Gathering cards because of your minuscule mind.
No.
You had to play, You had to play role playing.
No.
You had to role play.
Are you trying to slander me,
I
you
like
piece of
Dungeons
shit?
and Dragons because I gotta wear
I hate
a
you.
hood and put black eye makeup on.
Magog, this is not a slight to you.
Yeah,
this is.
Jeez.
I'm gonna donkey punch you one of these
No,
days.
I'm being honest, though. I think it takes a lot less imagination to play Magic.
It does take a lot less imagination.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Imagination.
Imagination has no place in Magic the Gathering.
The game that you like
unless you
more
suck
is
at it.
subjective. Like, that's fine. I'm fine with people liking Magic more. I was very
Any
concerned.
of you ever get laid?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
At Magic tournaments,
but-
deal with it.
But
Bill Cosby used to slay.
yeah, I was very concerned when Wizards bought.
Jeremy's like, I
uh,
just make friends with Quaaludes.
Yeah,
I was very concerned when Wizards bought
forgotten market.
TSR and Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't know. I thought that it was going to be a card game.
I was just mad when
eventually.
Hasbro
Like,
bought Wizards because that meant all the sex orgies had to stop in Seattle.
How about when Hasbro bought the Ouija board? Or is that Mattel? I don't know.
I have no idea.
No, it's I'm not sure. They're gonna. I think they're gonna merge.
Parker Brothers did the original, didn't it? And then
we had that dumb bitch that was our whatever. Shut up. We had that dumb bitch that was our Uber driver trying to like be like, don't ever mess with a Ouija board. I had to pretend like I was asleep.
It's Hasbro now, by the way.
It was so great.
Yeah, like Hasbro was.
Parker
Brothers was bought by Hasbro. Wasn't
We
it?
were in an Uber and we had to drive from LA back to Anaheim, which is like
An
over
hour
an hour
long.
drive.
It's like $100 Uber.
Yeah,
around there, yeah.
And we had Barbara.
but taxis are more expensive.
Barbara from UTC
Barbara from UTC and Captain Kirsch were in there, and this lady brought up that you don't mess with Ouija boards. There's demons. She's like, I'm a demon hunter. I'm a ghost hunter.
And then I was
And
like,
all the girls were like, oh, we've been haunted.
No, you fueled that shit.
Oh yeah, I did.
And I know,
did.
because you're a fucking retarded troll.
It was so good.
And you
It
could
was so
see
good.
that it, like I was trying
Ben
to
was
ignore
like,
it.
Ben was like curled up in his
I
seat
was
trying to hide from it. It was the best.
Because I can't pretend to like believe that bullshit.
Oh, it was great.
Like I can't.
Dude, I've
I
had
can't.
conversations, hour-long conversations with straight crackheads.
And he was
stuff.
like,
I can do
I
it.
lived in a haunted house. The cupboards were like opening and closing. I didn't know what's going on. I think of my grandma coming back to me.
We had a seance to get rid of the ghost in our house.
God, no.
And it worked. And it fucking worked.
Did you also see the Easter Bunny?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, when I was a little kid, my dad told me that was all bullshit because he didn't want to have to buy stuff.
Because I knew I had to ride for an hour with this lady. I was not going to challenge her shit she was saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, immediately I can imagine. First words out of her mouth, you're like, "This is going to be the longest hour of my life."
Ben just curls up into his jacket.
Supernatural.
I pretended to fall asleep.
I love it. Hey, supernatural story. I was hanging out with a dude this weekend that used to be on that show. I was hanging out with him all weekend.
Was he like a big part of the show, or was he like?
He was in a bunch of the seasons. He was always in the wacky episodes, like the Ghost Facers, like those episodes.
Yeah.
So he must have been like a reoccurring character, on just those specific episodes. But I do like that show, so I thought it was kind of cool.
I wanted to ask you, how did you
He
feel?
left Hollywood, by the way.
Yeah,
pedos.
How do you feel about like the whole Ralph Retort spectrum, like turning on Sargon? Because I know you like Sargon.
Oh, the blood sports crowd.
Oh well, I mean, I think it's they all look fucking stupid. I think it's. I told Sargon not to do that fucking stream 100 times.
It was in poor form. It was, and it was out of ego.
Medicare acts like he doesn't care, but he clearly wants the approval and attention of Sargon. Ralph acts like he doesn't care, but he clearly looks up to Sargon. They all look like just stupid babies.
We had Carl on DP when he had like 20,000 subs, and we could tell back then he's a very intelligent guy. And it is true. He wants to get into politics in his own country and he wants to make a difference. And I appreciate that.
If you lived in England, you'd want to too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's gotten a little.
They forced his hand.
Seriously,
I don't
that
know.
place
has gotten fucked up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't even tweet stuff out there. I saw a video today of some police officer showed up at some guy's house to interview him about a tweet. You see this video? He's recording him from the balcony. He's like, "No, fuck you. I'm not coming downstairs." Like,
yeah, I read the statistic came out the other day was like 3 to 6 people a day get either arrested or fined for something they've said on the internet.
Yeah,
in England, in the UK. Like that is the numbers. It's like 3,000.
They already have a law that says you can't talk shit about the Queen or the King or whoever's.
Oh, they've always had that law. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're just figureheads, and that's why. Like they don't. Yeah, the royal family has no power anymore.
They do though. They do have they have to sign everything. And like,
well, of course they are, because they're the legitimate rulers.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing I'm saying.
They don't dictate
They
the parliament anymore.
They go along with it, but ultimately they sign off on everything. What's to guarantee that someday they'll just decide not to go with it? There is no guarantee. There is
That would be a crazy day.
It'll be crazy, but like they can do it if they want.
Is it fucked up that I want to know what Riley Dennis has to say about Bowser?
Is it fucked up you want to suck his peen?
I don't want to.
You liar.
No, I don't even find Riley Dennis that attractive.
Okay.
Her voice.
Let's explore.
Her
Let's
voice
explore
doesn't do it for me. I just want to see what she has to say about
The
Bowser.
trans people have to go through, and so.
And by the way, I met Blair at VidCon, and I was really excited to meet her. I saw this woman with this long, like flowing black dress. I'm like, who is that? And I saw the face. I'm like, oh, it's Blair. And I said, hi, Blair. Yeah, we've met before. We've talked a lot. You've been on DP before. And she was like, yeah, that was so long ago. I try to forget about it. And that's what she said. And I'm like, oh, okay. So is that an insult or like, what is that?
I think it was an invite.
Yeah, I met her and Jacqueline.
It was a I'm big fucking deal.
I can't judge.
Yeah.
That's how I took
forgetting
it.
about this show right now.
Which is weird.
I'll give you some fucking Blair tea right now. So I was at the convention this weekend at MythCon, and there's like this party on Thursday night for all the people that were there to speak or who were invited guests to also hang out with all these fans that bought VIP tickets, which weren't cheap, right?
Yeah.
So the party was from like 7 to midnight or 7 to 1. Everyone got there by 8 o'clock because I was there at like 7:30 and I was driving with the people putting it on. We had to pick up some liquor and something like that. And I'm like, I feel responsibility. Let's get there fucking right on time because people bought these VIP tickets to hang out, you know? And she fucking walks in at like midnight, picks up my bottle of liquor. Okay, so when you're at a house party, right, and there's like a keg and there's bottles of liquor, what do? You drink out of the keg. You don't just grab a bottle of liquor. She grabs my bottle of liquor and just walks right outside and talks to somebody else and doesn't talk to anybody in the whole fucking place. I was like, man, that is not good form. You know, I was there. I was fucking drunk, hanging out with everybody, mixing it up, talking, trying to shake hands. And everyone was, except for one person. Yeah. I was like, that's kind of shitty, you know, because there were a lot of people that paid money, you know, several $100s. I don't know how much that ticket was. But, you know, to probably just see Blair. She's big time to everybody.
I saw Blair tweeting maybe a month ago about how she was going to stop drinking so much. So,
I've done that too.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad about that. I was hoping she'd stick to it.
So I can identify with her there. But the thing is, like, I met her and Jacqueline at the same time. And
Jack was there and acted the same way, by the way.
Well, it was different for me because I had communicated with Jacqueline over years, and she's been on this stream multiple times. So when I met her, she was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And she was like, really nice. I had to walk up to Blair and be like, hey, Blair, you remember me? Like, we've talked.
It's your toxic masculinity. You think Blair White owes you something, and she doesn't.
Think she owes me shit.
You wanted her respect.
Bullshit. Everybody owes somebody some human decency.
Fuck
you can
Fuck humans. Fuck humans.
Listen to him playing heel.
I got the privilege of meeting Billy and Ben at VidCon when I walked through the portal and landed in California.
It's true.
And then afterwards, after meeting me for the first time, they decided to have me on the show a couple of times, and I have regretted that ever since.
Yeah. But you keep coming back because you love this fat cock. Magog loves fat cock. You want to suck my Riley. You want my Riley in and out of your mouth.
My favorite part of VidCon was we were at the after party at the house where Matt wouldn't let us party too late because he had to get up and go to class.
He had to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Paid for YouTube college.
Yeah. Could you imagine being at a party where like everyone's like, shh, Matt has to
hey
wake
guys,
up early.
Matt's trying to sleep.
Yeah, it really did happen. It really did happen. Anyway, though.
I would definitely have been in there with my scrotum on his face. Like that. You don't Yeah, no. Get your own hotel room then if you got to go to bed early.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
I don't even recognize you without the dick drawn on your cheek.
Yeah, we could have been in Matt's room if he wasn't there, and we wouldn't have had to be in that shit hotel, and we'd have been partying later than everybody.
That toilet was heated and washed your asshole.
It had a water spray.
They got an Airbnb with like a bidet in it, and it was like heaven.
But what good is that if you got to go to bed at 11:30?
Yeah, true.
We didn't go to bed like Matt.
There was also a weird guy there who like was from where was he from?
Brazil, I think.
Brazil or
it was somewhere down Colombia.
No.
Maybe,
It was
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Yeah. And he was so drunk, and he was telling everybody about how bad it is in Venezuela, and eventually people were like, "Get away from me! You're
We're like,
weird,
dude. You think Venezuela is bad? You're here. We're hating it.
Yeah,
go away."
And then like Barbara,
it's so bad. You're ruining our day by like association.
He sat next to the couch on Barbara.
Why'd you bring your socialism disease to our party?
And we saw Barbara like moving away. Yeah.
Oh, poor Barbara.
Yeah. Poor Barbara. She had to move back to
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Yeah. Can we watch her talk about Bowser for 1 second? I want to see what she has to say about Bowser's queerness, because Bowser's like the anti-queer. He kidnaps women on a regular basis.
And he's always there with his brother Warrior.
I just want to see the Bowser. That's all I want.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh shit! He better.
Non-binary and as pansexual, so she always felt a little bit out of place.
Toad is totally pansexual. No.
Okay. Here's my guy.
What are you calling her a guy?
Bowser is a guy. Especially the lack of gender thing. She's always felt like a very strong connection to femininity, and that's why she has the little toad pigtails and stuff, because she's just super femme. But she doesn't actually identify as a girl. She still identifies as non-binary, like most of the toads in their society. But she just has like a very strong connection to femininity, and so the label she likes is femme.
We can tell because she wears pink.
It's so crazy to me how hormones like do the shit. Like even like Riley used to have like a masculine jaw, and Riley is like way.
Well, that was probably surgery, right?
You think it is?
Oh yeah, jaw surgery is a regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Bowser, and he's a bit of a doozy to talk about as the villain of the Mario series. I'm going to say that Bowser is a cis gay man, but he's had a lot of internalized.
Why? Bowser's a fucking cartoon reptile, man.
I might give her cis gay man because Bowser's only kidnapping the girls to get Mario to chase after him.
Yeah,
that might be it. If that's what she says, I'll give her this one. That's the only way.
Hate for a lot of his life, and he's still kind of working to undo that. Like when he was younger, he like expressed himself more femininely and was kind of open about being gay, and he was like punished harshly for it. And so he's grown up like very jaded and has always felt like
Bowser does have like the gay studs, the gay leather studs on.
He's a leather man.
He's like a leather dad. Was that what they call it? A leather daddy?
Leather man.
Leather man.
What? The lead singer of Judas Priest?
People keep bringing up Bowsette.
Rob Halford.
People keep bringing up Bowsette in chat. Like, Billy, do you think Bowsette's hot? Hotter than shit, dude. Bowsette's super hot. If Bowsette was a real human being, I would give her my fucking hand in marriage. Deal with it. She's beautiful.
Masculinity to like its most extreme. And so Bowser has kind of gotten a lot of those like hyper masculine kind of toxic masculinity traits in him, but he's working really hard to unlearn them. But he's still there. He's still
working
in the
really hard to unlearn them by kidnapping women.
All of his friends in the Mario universe are very supportive, and they don't take shit from him, and they do stand up to him when he says stuff that is wrong or mean or hurtful. But they are helping him to like get through all of this at his own pace, and it's been very good for him. He's been learning a lot about himself.
This is stupid.
And just learning how to accept
Riley
not
Dennis,
only others better, but
off.
to accept himself better. So Bowser's just on a journey right now. And
I was going to do a response video to this, and I pulled it up, and I saw it was 18 minutes long. I was like, forget it.
Too long.
I think we should all
notice that.
All right, Bowser Jr. is, I'm going to say, a biromantic, asexual trans boy. I know that's a lot of labels, but look, I have explanations here. Basically, you see that bib?
We don't have to watch any more of this.
Like,
all right.
When is Riley ever going to be like, this is just a straight, normal person?
Well, they don't exist. I have a friend.
That's not even part of the repertoire.
I have a friend of the family who's like an old gay man, and he says up and down that all men are gay, and on some level he believes that, and it's probably because he fucks
Did he
out
go to
straight
prison?
men. No.
Okay.
No. But he probably fucks tons of straight men because a lot of straight men are down for
A lot
whatever.
of straight dudes turn gay in prison because that's what they can get.
A lot of straight dudes are only straight because society makes them feel like they shouldn't take one in the bum and they go around sneaking.
I want to show some. Okay, I want to show some photos to Jeremy, and I just want him to talk about like what comes to mind. How about this one?
That's
me and
very
Billy.
Sweaty threesome.
Yeah, we're advertising Bubba Gump shrimp
We're
here.
sweet boys, and we're hanging out with Lacey Green, and she approves of all of us. That we're all
Hey,
sweet
she's sexy.
boys.
I get down with Lacey.
My favorite thing about Lacey, when I first met her, she was like holding her own in a room full of skeptics. We were at a VidCon
She
party.
can drink too. Like she has my drinking respect, which means a lot.
Like a fish.
Yes, it's crazy. How about this guy? You know this guy?
Has sex with potatoes.
You know,
potatoes aren't keto.
You know, he started out on our show. Like he was
Really?
yes, he was a patron of our show, so we started letting him on. And then he actually admitted to like the whole relationship with the autistic girl on
Live
our show
on the episode.
and it's in the court documents
That he met
like,
her
The
through
name
the
of our show is in it. Like it's
so that
And
proves.
I don't know who you're talking. I
JF.
thought that was Ted Bundy.
You know what though? honestly, I like JF. Like I like
proves-
him well enough.
That proves, though, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that DP fans are all potatoes. It's in the court case. It's in the records.
How about this one?
The first time Matt ever had sex.
That guy right there looks like he's from Boulder, Colorado.
How about this guy? You know this guy?
Is that Sam Pepper?
Yeah.
He's fucking, he's a cockroach too, man. He's reinvented himself on these Ice Poseidon's show, isn't he?
Yeah, dude, that's the craziest thing. Billy was we hung out with him when he came to town because he knew Sam Pepper. And the shit that we did that day
within 5 minutes
locally got Billy like flat.
My entire city turned on me 5 minutes after I was hanging out with Sam Pepper.
There was a group of like this is the worst group of people to have against you. Club bouncers. There was a group of bouncers that like their hashtag was beat up Billy the Fridge.
Yeah, they were threatening to beat me up.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like here it is. Here's the post. And it's funny that Ice Poseidon and Sam Pepper are the smallest and we're the biggest ones.
You can
from
barely
this post.
see them. You see my big old balloon ass.
It's hilarious. And then the guy up
Very
top.
aggressive. I can't imagine that.
No.
Well, like they were being aggressive because they were live streaming, right? Like they were getting up in people's faces making content.
Yeah, you can see Sam and Ice Poseidon in the lower right-hand corner. They were doing like their usual thing, and we were with them.
And she comes up after all this stuff happened. She like chased us down the road, and she comes up in front of Ben with a camera in his
Blue-haired
face.
girl. Yeah.
With the cameras, so Ben looks like he's like, what's going on? Why are you filming us? So he looks like he's angry.
Yeah,
and I have like my fat man face on. I'm just like, hi, do you have candy?
Yeah.
Do you have any candy?
Do you have candy?
You give me a chocolate bar.
Chocolate.
But this got passed around. I was having everybody.
Oh my God, the rest of that day, I was on the Ice Poseidon bus, like smoking weed and hanging out with all of them. Billy's like doing damage control. Because
so many people.
The difference
Well, you
is
got to live there, right?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I live here too, but I don't know anybody because I didn't grow up here.
I do music, so like I worked at all these clubs in the Capitol Hill area, and they're all like, "Why would you bring them into our community?" And I'm like, it's entertainment. I know they were a little fucking like they were a little aggressive with their stuff, but it's like
yeah, they didn't like it.
And it's not the right place for it. But it's not like I was sitting here expecting them.
They
to...
went to Capitol Hill, which is like all of the crosswalks are painted like rainbows.
With rainbows. Yeah, it's rainbow.
Yeah.
Rainbow. The streets are painted in rainbows.
Those guys are. Ice is a bit conservative, right? Or like he's a Trump guy, at least maybe for the memes.
He is, but they asked the simple question: how many genders are there? And
I
like,
saw that video. Yeah, I saw that video.
yeah,
of
we
course
were
they
there.
go to fucking Seattle to trigger people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was a wonderful day. Thanks for bringing that up again.
How about
Ben.
this guy? How do you feel about Onision?
I never watched his content, but I do know that there's no way he's really like that in real life.
He looks like a guy who's kicked out of Def Leppard.
He is. He really is. He is not an actor.
No, because his stuff.
He's not an actor.
He is an actor on his Onision channel when he's being crazy.
He really is this way.
His
though.
Onision Speaks channel, everything that is real.
But he
Anything
is
he posts
real.
on Onision Speaks
All that
is 100%
shit
real.
about the. No, I've met him, and he is real. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, he
Go
does
ahead.
some
Go
stuff
ahead.
that's character work, but.
I mean, like, you think he really thought it was a good idea to like have teenage girls have him rate their body?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even his friend will admit that he's, and you'll say, well, Onision, he just likes young ladies.
Well, 17 is not illegal in Washington State.
Okay.
Well, didn't he like? I don't know. All I know of him is not good. But I also try to.
He
give
is
people
not
benefit.
good.
No.
Honestly.
Oh, come on.
Come on, dude.
I can
What?
safely say, just judging by this picture, it looks like a man who thinks I can hold my serious
I'll tell you
face
what.
even with
I'll tell
cum
you
in
what.
my hair.
He is, though, one of the most charming people I've ever met in person. Because, I had talked so much shit about him over the internet. I'm sure he had seen it, but he acted like he didn't. And when I met him, the first thing he said to me was a compliment, like immediately.
Smart.
So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
When
what Riley Dennis
disarm you.
looks like
Yeah.
before the hormones.
yeah, or even after.
That's Riley Dennis's before picture.
It's Riley Dennis's halfway through picture.
Someone said Onision is a narcissistic sociopath, and I don't see anything wrong with that. If that's who you are, that's who you are.
Let's hear you defend
narcissism and sociopathy.
Martin Shkreli again.
Martin Shkreli saved people's lives. I'm sorry. He's a capitalist. If he's not the problem. He's capitalizing.
Not all capitalists are good.
Well, it doesn't mean he's bad. He moved from hedge funds to medicine because medicine
He's
is the
not
gold
exactly
mine right
a
now.
Rockefeller or anything like that, right?
Well, he takes medicine that nobody else is willing to make that people need to live.
They
and he
were
saves
still
their lives.
making it though.
Okay.
It was cheaper before he made it.
Well, that it was an orphan drug. He picked that up. He raised the price, and within I think months
What
of him
if I
raising the
bought
price,
the company that made oxycodone and raised it?
you can't afford it. He found it.
Let's say I can. Let's say
he
I'm a
found a
billionaire.
glitch in the system where he's able to pick it up and make profit off of it. That's capitalism.
Let's say I can afford a drug that alleviates the pain of millions of people.
Yeah.
And I raise it up to I want it to be $100 a pill.
Uh-huh.
So
His was $750 a pill. And you know what else is $750 in the medical industry?
No, listen
a
to
bag
him.
of saline, salt water.
So how much
is
did
$750?
How much did Martin's lawyer pay you to go through this shtick that you're going
Everything.
through? Okay.
I'm able to be 600 pounds because of Martin Shkreli pays my food bill.
Hey, let me tell you something, Billy.
Yeah.
I got your back. Martin Shkreli did nothing wrong.
Paging Dr. Kevorkian.
Here's what Martin Shkreli did wrong, okay?
Blame the system. Hate the player. Don't
And by
hate
the way,
player, hit the
Jeremy,
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeremy,
It's the
on election day, we're going to be doing an election special. So if you want to join us for the live election,
live
results,
elections. Well, here's the thing about Martin Shkreli. Okay, he's a fan of pro wrestling. He was playing.
I don't
he was
care
playing
if
it
I
up.
agree with
He
him
was
on
playing it up as like a heel when they gave him the target, and he kind of fucked
I'll
himself.
tell you what,
because he trolled himself into being as bad as he was.
My mom was disappointed in you.
Of course she was.
Because I told her you liked Martin Shkreli.
Yeah,
She was
'cause she
like,
doesn't
"Oh,
know."
My mom was like, oh, that Billy, he's such a nice guy.
I am a nice guy.
But I was like, he likes Martin Shkreli. And she's like, oh.
I don't like him. He's my friend.
You broke my mom's heart.
He's my
you
friend.
Piece of shit.
He's my because I've seen him. I've seen him spend hours dealing with people that thought he was a piece of shit, and he takes his time out of his day.
Wasn't he a piece of shit anyway? Like,
is a piece of shit willing to talk to every one of their detractors and try and show them that he's not a piece of shit? Because I saw him do that day in, day out with every person that questioned him, and he's like, this
He used
isn't
to
what
sit on streams and just like let people come on and rip on him.
Yeah.
And
okay.
well,
that got him attention.
It wasn't. It was like 700 people, 800 people in a room, 1,000
Well,
people
it's
in
like
a room.
Bobby the Brain Heenan. He made his entire
the
career.
braid, man.
He made his entire career off of people hating him, and it just fed into his character. I remember chanting "Weasel, Weasel."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference
Hey,
is,
hey guys, I legit have to dip. I didn't know how long you guys ran.
No, you're
we're
fine.
going long.
You're fine. Yeah, we're going longer
Okay.
than usual.
Yeah.
It's cool. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Later.
Hey, Magog, like, if this is going too long for you two, you can dip at any time.
Hey, you know what? I want to apologize
How long
to your
is it
mom.
supposed to go? Give me a
I think we
time
were
frame,
supposed
and
to
then
be
I'll able to tell
done.
you.
We were supposed to be done an hour ago, almost, or half an hour ago.
That's what I thought. I thought this was just like a 2-hour stream.
It usually
Now you guys
is.
have
Usually
me
like
on
two-
here
2.5.
looking at pictures of literally the only fan of Billy Squire in 2019.
And then Ben's like, "Oh, you know what? We haven't had enough show. I'm drunk. Let's pick on all of Billy's friends."
It's true.
He created this segment just to pick on Billy's friends. And you know who also is my friend? I want to point this out.
Me?
Ben. Ben is my friend. And if you think any of these guys
I'm
are
the
bad,
best out
I'll
of
tell you.
all
I'll
them.
tell you.
I'm the most innocent.
If you think any of these guys are bad, Ben's worse than every one of them. He's a sick son of a bitch.
Holy shit. Are those kids in my basement talking out right now? Shh. Hey, be quiet.
You drunk bastard.
You marrow. I haven't even brought them over from Mexico yet, and they haven't even learned to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if you're looking for all the immigrant children that were lost, they're in Ben's basement. He buys them on eBay. Sick. It's sick. Hitler's not my friend, but if he was alive, he still wouldn't be my friend.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time anyway because I did get drunk.
I
as
know. This happened.
I'm sorry.
This happened during your private show too. We went hell
in my
along.
head because of one joke.
Should I just end it now? Just tell me. I don't care. Dude.
I don't know. Look, guys, this is the thing. Ben's drunk and he's making me choose all my other friends and pick on all my other friends because
I don't want to pick on
Ben
them.
wants
They're
to be my best
assholes.
friend. Ben wants to be my best
I am
friend.
his best friend. And Joe's a piece of shit too. I'm better than him. I'm better than all of them.
Joe and I were hanging out with Onishi on Sunday.
Joe is gay.
Joe is gay.
Why am I not hanging? Why did you not pick me?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Joe fit in the Robin suit and you didn't.
Well, yeah, I'm fatter than Joe. And I don't want to wear that gay shit anyway. Makes you look like I'm your twink lover or something.
Would you have played the penguin in my music video?
Yeah, I could. I could do that. Do I get to punch Onision?
I don't know. Joe and Onision had they simulated a sex together.
Tell Onision I would spar him in a real match.
Is that
one on one?
Should we set up a fight?
I don't want a
YouTube
real fight. I don't want it to go that far, but I would spar
I'm talking like in a
him.
boxing ring. We
Me
have
versus
boxing gloves. You
Onision?
go versus Onision.
He's taller than me.
I'll go against somebody.
But here's the thing.
I'll go against Vegan Gains.
Here's the thing, though. I would work out for that, and I would lose a lot of weight.
Well, we
And
have
then-
3 months to start.
And Onision's probably like 4 inches taller than me. So at that point, like I would be underweight to fight him. Like now,
You'd have to, he'd have a longer reach on you. You'd have to work on your takedown game.
I love how
is
everybody.
it that far? Is it like MMA rules? Holy shit! Or is it no holds barred? Where I could
I don't
fart?
fucking know. I'm
Where I
just trying
could
to
like
give you advice so you don't get your ass kicked.
I could
I think
sit
you'd have
on
to
his
have
head and
rules.
just fart down his nose.
I think we got to have rules.
Oh, okay.
We gotta
I'm
have
6'3", 260 pounds, so
You
I
are?
can take him.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've stood face to face, and you know I'm not tall. I'm not big at all.
Yeah, you're like an Oompa Loompa with Down syndrome.
Somebody said Vegan Gains would destroy Billy. Whether or not that's true, I would still fight him. I would fight Brock Lesnar if the money was right.
You okay? How much money? How much money would it take for you to get?
I'd fight Brock Lesnar for like 20 grand.
You think you get like one?
No idea. Probably not.
No, I think.
But I do think that there's a chance.
How many hits to the head do you think you could take from Brock before he knocked you out? One or two.
I don't honestly. He'd probably get me on one
in
hit.
one. Yeah, because he knows where to hit.
But I'd
too.
still do it. And there's that one chance that I fucking accidentally
And no one
stick
would
him.
no one would do that because they know like he could probably knock you out.
But I
in
don't
one
think he would
punch.
kill me, right?
And no one would put up the money for a fight like that.
Well, I'm just saying I
And I'll
would.
tell you what. I think honestly, this is my. You could disagree with me, and a lot of people did up to the fight too. I think Floyd Mayweather could have knocked out Conor McGregor in one round.
Yeah.
But he was not only one of the guys fighting, but he was also the promoter of that fight. And he wanted it to go on at least 5 rounds.
He was putting on a show.
And if you look back at that fight, I'll tell you what, Floyd Mayweather is potentially the greatest boxer ever. Definitely the greatest boxer of my lifetime. It doesn't matter if he's an asshole.
I think if I trained MMA,
he can be an asshole because he's that great. And if you go back and look at that fight, Conor McGregor, very accomplished MMA guy, very good striker.
Not a boxer,
could hardly land a punch on Floyd Mayweather. He's so fucking fast.
Yeah.
You can't land a punch on him. Floyd Mayweather probably threw like 25 punches in those first 2 rounds.
Anytime.
By the 3rd round, he started hitting back a little bit. By the 5th round, he opened the fuck up on Conor McGregor and ended him.
He just
and I'll
waited
tell you what,
to give the people a show.
Conor McGregor's a beast. He's a great fighter in a real fight, with no rules. Conor McGregor would destroy Floyd Mayweather. In boxing, Floyd Mayweather is a fucking surgeon. He knows when to conserve his energy, because boxing is more than just a fight. It's conserving it's a marathon. It's an arms marathon in many ways. And he knew this. He knew that Conor McGregor would come out swinging high, swinging like for knockout punches, because that was his best bet. So, and the same thing with Manny Pacquiao, and now they're going to have a Manny Pacquiao rematch, and I'm going to call that live on the channel here.
Show fight, bitch. Show fight. Where's fight? Show fight, bitch.
I made a thumbnail of Mayweather versus McGregor, and even put in the title, "Fight will not be streamed here, only commentary." And I made like 2.5 million views off of that stream. And everyone was like, "Stream fight, fat faggot."
Okay. What do you think? Do we wrap this little bitch up now? It's been like 17 hours.
Oh, is it?
It's been
no post show tonight. Or unless you want to do you want to do it for like 30?
Let's do a short post show.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break. We'll do the post show.
I gotta pee.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.